All fans seated on the berms along the first.
From White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts, it's Cape League Baseball here on the Kettleers Radio Network as the Harwich Mariners are set to do battle against the Cotuit Kettleers here in Harwich as the Kettleers enter this game fashioning a 13-9 record going up against a Harwich team that is riding a 7-game losing streak and are off to a 2-8 start in their month of July. Alex, what excites you about this matchup for a Harwich team that has really hit a rough patch in their schedule?
Seen a lot of runs between these two squads. 37 combined runs in the two games. Of course, Harwich had the 13-2 victory over Cotuit back to open the season. But Cotuit came back here at White House Field with an 18-4 victory. That was a massive win for the Kettleers and really sparked them on a 6-game winning streak back in the middle of June. So I'm excited for the offense. This is a Harwich team, despite that they've lost 7 consecutive games. This is an offense that can really do damage. So Aiden Hunter is getting the ball for the Kettleers, really has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, it'll be his second start for the Kettleers this summer, but how do the Kettleers line up against Hayden LeFew?
Leading things off is the DH, Devin Taylor. Batting second is the third baseman, Nolan Naraki. Hitting third is Brandon Compton. In the cleanup spot is Nathan Hall. Batting fifth, Jaron Advincula. In the sixth hole is Tyler Cerny. Batting seventh, Max Blue. 8 is Grant J.
As Taylor rockets one out to deep left center field, going back to center fielder Scannell. He runs out of room, and that ball is gone. A first pitch home run for Devin Taylor to open up this ball game at White House Field. Back-to-back games with a home run for Taylor, and the Kettleers take a 1-0 lead. Sorry to cut you off there, Alex.
Glad you did. Cotuit needing a hot start. Devin Taylor, it takes him just one pitch, and that ball was crushed right in the left center field gap, and you're starting to see Taylor put together a lot of really quality swings. Struggled a bit coming back from Team USA, but just got a pitch that he can drive, and he did not miss it.
So wasting no time as Devin Taylor, first pitch thrown at 6:30 p.m. local time, and now the next pitch is to Nolan Naraki, misses just outside for a called ball 1. So Nolan Naraki enters this game having going 1 for 4 at the plate last night in Hyannis. Now 6 of his last 12 at the dish. The 1-0 pitch dots the outer half and is called a strike 1. The left-handed throwing Hayden LeFew gets another appearance on the year for the Mariners. So far as 1-2 with 4 appearances, 3 of which have been starts, and has pitched just over 14 innings. Naraki swings and fouls one straight back over the press box at Harwich. Slightly cloudy skies above our heads. White House Field scoreboard all green in right center with that flag just above it blowing straight away towards dead center where it's 400 feet. Naraki awaits the 1-2. Here it comes. He reaches out over the plate and fouls it off the end of his bat to remain alive at 1-2. Infield for Harwich, Michael Anderson out of Rhode Island plays at first. Cade Kurland, the Florida second baseman, playing on the middle infield with Ryan Weingartner, who's going to Penn State this upcoming year. Jake Ogden plays the hot corner at third. Next pitch to Naraki. He reaches out over the plate once more, rolls it slowly to Weingartner at short, who throws on the infield grass, barely in time to get Naraki at first for out number 1.
Now batting for 2, the left fielder from Arizona State,
Danny Dickinson out of Utah Valley, but transferring to LSU this year. He's in left field. Matt Scannell in straightaway center. Cam Maldonado out of Northeastern plays in right. So now it'll be Brandon Compton facing Hayden LeFew, who's thrown 14 and now 2/3 innings pitched. Allowed 12 hits, 8 earned runs. That's including the solo shot that he allowed to Devin Taylor a few moments ago. That was his second home run allowed on the season. Compton takes a breaking ball low and inside for a called strike 1, and now the 0-1 pitch. Lefty throws to the lefty Compton, and he takes once more for a called strike 2. That one on the upper part of the zone, and now 0-2 on the 87-mile-an-hour cutter. It is that cutter thrown by LeFew, and now the next one is a slider, misses low and away, 1-2. So a lot of movement on these pitches from LeFew. Doesn't really employ the regular fastball. It has a lot of run on it. Now the 1-2. Compton swings and misses at strike 3. So back-to-back outs here for Hayden LeFew. Second one's a punch out, his first of the day.
It's a good bounce back out there for Hayden LeFew, getting the weak contact against Naraki and Brandon Compton, who's been swinging a hot bat, to go down on strikes after giving up the leadoff home run to Devin Taylor.
So now it's Nathan Hall. He's batting 4th today. Not getting the start in last night's game at Hyannis, where the Kettleers fell out of second place in the West Division. And Nathan Hall fans and misses at a first pitch slider. It's 0-1. A 14-4 run rule loss yesterday after 7 innings in Hyannis. A positive note, though, the Kettleers seeing 3 2/3 innings pitched from Luke Hansen and Max Ballou to really save the bullpen. Hall swings and misses at strike 2. So a lot of arms are being able to be used today for Mike Roberts out of the bullpen. Starting with Aiden Hunter, though. Now the 0-2. Hall rockets one off the top of the mound, and that'll get through into center field for a base hit. So Nathan Hall, who doesn't get the start yesterday, wastes no time to make a difference in this one. A 2-out single, and the inning will continue for Jaron Advincula.
Nathan Hall really hasn't played much over the last few games, but doing a good job facing the lefty Hayden LeFew, just lining that ball right back up the middle. And Nathan Hall really putting together a quality season, now has hits in back-to-back performances.
So Hall takes a short lead at first, and now he takes off on the first pitch to Advincula. It's a breaking ball. Ball is skied into center field over the head of Weingartner. Hall will move up 90 feet to third. And just like that, the Kettleers will have a runner on third with 2 gone.
We've seen Nathan Hall be super aggressive on the base paths there. Got a good jump against the lefty LeFew, swipe second base, and then the throw from Macon Winslow just gets into center field. It was a high throw, pulled the shortstop Weingartner well off the bag, and Nathan Hall being aggressive moves up another 90 feet.
Next pitch to Advincula. He saws it off and sends a flare to the left side over the Harwich dugout and out of play. Harwich wearing the Red Shirt Friday uniforms, all camo hats with the cream-colored pants with the blue piping down either side. And now that ball gets away from Macon Winslow, back to the backstop. Nathan Hall will scurry home and score from third. So the Kettleers take a 2-0 lead in this top of the first inning, and something we've talked a lot about in these past couple games, Alex. Cotuit falling behind early. That's not the case today.
It always helps when you get a leadoff home run from Devin Taylor, but now it's just a small ball and taking advantage of Harwich mistakes. Of course, Nathan Hall moving up to third on the errant throw, and then on the wild pitch.
That one swatted down the left field line and twists over the tall fence above the Harwich dugout once more. So now 1-2 the count to Advincula. Went hitless for just the 5th time this season last night by going 0 for 3, and now he sends a slow tapper towards the Ketts on deck circle foul. Still 1-2 to Advincula. Went into that game batting .370 in the month of June. Of course, is one CCBL player to have a batting average above 400. So now a pause here for the home plate umpire. Going to wait on a couple more baseballs from the Harwich bat boy. Home plate umpire today, Jeffrey Merzel. Robert McHugh is at first base. Mike Inahosa, third base ump. Infield playing straight up for Jaron Advincula. Playing a little bit to the pull side for the lefty. 1-2 from LeFew. Is hammered foul once more. So Jaron Advincula now with 12 multi-hit games on the season. Struggling to get on base just once in last night's game, though, as he sends a slow tapper on the ground towards second. Curlin charging in on it, throws on the run, and it's in time there to get Advincula at first for the third out. But not before the Kettleers put up 2 runs, one on Devin Taylor's solo home run, and Nathan Hall scores after singling and coming around on a wild pitch. So we send it to the home half of the first inning. Cotuit in control here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
This Saturday, the Kettleers are reuniting the 1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bottom of the first inning from White House Field. Cotuit already in control 2-0 as we welcome you back in on the Kettleers Radio Network. Joe Pratt and Alex Rocco are with you. And how will the Harwich Mariners face Aiden Hunter today?
In the leadoff spot for the Mariners is the shortstop Ryan Weingartner. Batting second, Cade Kurland. He also plays second base. Hitting in the 3 spot is the left fielder Daniel Dickinson. Hitting cleanup and in center field, Matt Scannell. Batting 5th is Michael Anderson. Hitting 6th, Jake Ogden. 7th is Macon Winslow. 8th, Luke Heyman. And rounding out the Harwich order is the right fielder Cam Maldonado.
So it's Ryan Weingartner, the right-handed swinger out of Penn State, will dig in. And the first pitch from Aiden Hunter from the windup gets a big swing and miss at the bottom part of the zone. Ryan Weingartner playing his college ball at St. Joe's, playing in 55 games there this past season, was a .316 hitter. Now the 0-1 pitch bounces in front of home plate, but announced on June 10th via his X account that he'll be headed to Penn State this fall. Comes after 100+ starts in a couple of years at St. Joe's. Now the next pitch from Hunter is a 1-1 pitch that he fans and misses at once more, and Gardner's back to 1-2. A guy who can see the ball really well, and a big reason as to why he's at the top of Steve Englert's lineup. The 1-2 pitch from Hunter is a fastball, rolled foul to the left side and out of play. So Weingartner stays alive at 1-2. Second most walks in the league for him. 18 is second to Kane Kepley of Hyannis with 27, and he worked a couple of those last night against the Kettleers. Hunter is set. Brings the glove in front of his face for just a moment, and now the 1-2 pitch is rolled foul once more. So Aiden Hunter gets his second start for the Kettleers this season. His first start coming against Falmouth earlier this year. Now that one taken low and outside to push this count to 2-2 on Weingartner. Coming off of a season at College of Charleston where he really did a nice job of lowering his ERA again. And now that one is hit high towards right field. Tracking under it is Nathan Hall, and he will make the catch for out number 1. Weingartner is retired, and that'll bring up Cade Kurland.
It's a good start to the ball game for Aiden Hunter, who in his last start went 2 1/3, allowed just 1 hit, but it was a solo shot that left the yard, but really struggled with walks, walked 2 batters, didn't have his full command of the strike zone, so look for him to improve on that in start number 2.
Yeah, went 2 1/3 innings, struck out 3. And now the next pitch is to Cade Kurland. He takes low and away for ball 1. Some light rain starting to come down, or mist, I guess, above White House Field. The pitch is hit hard on a line through the left side of the infield and into left for a base hit. That one splitting Tyler Cerny and Nolan Naraki. And it's the first hit of the day. It's off the bat of Cade Kurland, who continues to be the top hitter in this Harwich lineup. Entering this game with a .308 clip, improving upon that there. And they'll have a runner on first with 1 gone for Danny Dickinson.
That ball just exploded off the bat of Kurland there, a rocket. Just like you said, Joe, splitting that left side of the Cotuit infield. And nice job by Kurland to get on and bring up Daniel Dickinson, who has a boatload of talent.
Bit of a slower start to his season, though, as that one is checked over towards first base. Luke Hansen receives it there as Kurland is back in sliding. So Luke Hansen plays at first, getting his first start at first base for the Kettleers. Jaron Advincula back at second, Tyler Cerny at short. The next pitch is down the heart of the plate on the 80-mile-an-hour slider from Hunter, and the count is 0-1. Hot corner at third is Nolan Naraki once more. Brandon Compton in left, Max Ballou in center, Nathan Hall plays in right. Back behind the dish, Grant Jay. Hunter from the stretch, he comes set. The pitch is low and outside, gloved by Jay in the dirt, and 1-1 the count now to Dickinson. And you mentioned the great season he's coming off of, Alex. At Utah Valley, 59 games. He started all of those games and hit .363. 90 hits, led the conference. 1-1. And that one pops out of the web of the glove of Grant J. Count will be 2-1 now. Barely missing low and outside. Who knows if Hunter was going to be able to get that call, though, if Jay could haul it in. So here we are again. More rain tonight in Harwich. Not so much rain. It probably hasn't reached that status yet, but some precipitation above White House Field for sure. That one rattled foul. It's 2-2. So here we go again.
Saw it a bunch in last night's game. It was like 5 or 6 times where the rain would start, stop, and then start again, but no rain in the forecast, so
No.
should be clear.
Flag in center field, still blowing towards pretty much straightaway center. Flag's actually in right center as the 2-2 pitch. The runner takes off. It's popped up into foul territory. Ball headed behind the press box, and it'll get out of play. So Curlin will go back to first. They'll do it again at 2-2 to Danny Dickinson. Also led the conference with 73 runs scored and really was far and away the best player on that Utah Valley team. Dickinson was. Led the team in runs scored, hit by pitches, batting average, RBIs, among other categories. Now this one's rolled straight back to Aiden Hunter, throws back to second to Advincula, who relays to first, and that's in time for 2. So they dot up Dickinson on a 1-4-3 double play to end the bottom of the first inning after one base hit. The Harbor Hawks are unable to bring home any runs, and the Kettleers still lead it 2-0 as we go to the second inning here on the Kettleers Radio Network. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettle.
Back for the top of the second inning from White House Field. Kettleers leading 2-0. Tyler Cerny will lead off this inning for the Kettleers, facing Hayden LeFew. They tagged him for 2 runs in the top of the first inning. Devin Taylor knocking the first pitch of this ball game to deep left center field. Tyler Cerny from the right side getting his first looks on LeFew, who comes set and throws a breaking ball that enters in on the back door for a called strike 1. Cerny struggling as of late, going 0 for 3 in last night's game. And now is 0 for his last 12 at the plate. Fouls that one straight back, and it's 0-2 now. And that was coming off of after a great day at Bourne on July 6th, where he went 2 for 3 in that game that was decided after 5.5 innings. And now Cerny reaches out over the plate and fouls one off once more right behind us. So still behind in the count, 0-2 is Cerny, as we are located just behind the Kettleers on-deck circle, looking straight up the third base line. 0-2. Cerny takes at his knees for a called strike 3. Second of the day for Hayden LeFew. Tyler Cerny just watches it go by and goes down on strikes to start off this top of the second.
A few mixing locations there. Attacked him up in the zone on the first 3 pitches and then just dotted a fastball right at the knees of Tyler Cerny.
So now that'll bring up Max Ballou. Takes low and outside for a ball 1. Ballou really saving the Kettleers bullpen last night, pitching after the 4th inning in that ball game. The Kettleers fell behind 7-0. Now he chops one on the ground towards first base. Michael Anderson gloves it and runs it to the bag himself to get a quick second out. But Max Ballou doing a great job last night to keep a lot of arms in the rotation in the Kets bullpen available for today's game and for the rest of the weekend.
He ate up 3 innings through 51 pitches, 31 strikes, even broke out a knuckleball and only allowed 2 hits in those 3 innings. So just really impressive stuff from Max Ballou, a guy who hasn't pitched at Texas and making his first appearance this summer, but did a quality job.
Grant Jay takes a ball 1 low and outside. Right-handed swinging catcher gets the start back behind the dish today. We saw him in the leadoff spot for 3 games a couple days ago. But now back to 8th in the order as he fouls one straight back into the fence. So 1-1 the count to Grant Jay, facing Hayden LeFew, who's done a nice job of calming down this ball game after the leadoff home run. 3 up, 3 down since the single to Nathan Hall. The 1-1 pitch is beneath the knees of Jay, and he takes for ball 2. So we're back at White House Field for the second time this season, Alex. Cotuit winning 18-4, as mentioned, in Game 4 of this season. And now Grant Jay goes after a low slider and misses. It's 2-2 now. Both of these teams exchanging a pair of run rule victories. Opening day, Harwich beating the Kettleers 13-2 at Lowell Park, and then 18-4 here just a couple days later. Jay takes up and away, and the count's full now.
A lot of runs scored in those 2 games, 37 combined runs, so the offense is coming to play.
Jay takes low and inside, and that is ball 4 to extend this top of the second. Yeah, Cotuit wasting no time to get some runs early on today. 3 home runs here the last time we were here. A grand slam off the bat of Brandon Compton. Nathan Hall also with a home run. And that was Hall's debut for the Kettleers, as well as Nolan Naraki, as they'll check back at first. Grant Jay's in standing up. And that was a much-needed day for the Kettleers, as you were talking about. Coming off of an off day, they had a 1-3 start, which was their worst since 2016, in need of a big offensive explosion. And boy, did they get that, taking an 18-0 lead halfway through that ball game. Jay goes back into first, standing up once more. The batter is Luke Hansen. From the right side, facing the lefty, Hayden LeFew. 9-batter in the Kettleers lineup today, wearing the pinstripe pants tucked just beneath his knees to show off those maroon socks. And now the first pitch. Jay takes off, pitches high and wide. The throw down to second is in time from Macon Winslow to end this top of the second inning. A seed from the catcher Winslow to get Grant Jay trying to steal the second base bag. So the Kettleers remaining in front 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net. We welcome you back in from White House Field. Cotuit leading 2-0. Harwich with 1 hit in the bottom of the first inning. But then quickly Danny Dickinson grounded into a double play that was drawn immediately by Aiden Hunter, who spun back to second to get the first out. Advincula got the second one at first. So the heart of the lineup will come up to the plate for Steve Englert's Mariners. Matt Scannell, Michael Anderson, and Jake Ogden. So they will face Aiden Hunter, who works into his second inning of work.
Leading off the bottom of the second for Harwich, the center fielder from Wake Forest. Scandal.
And here comes Scannell. Swung a hot bat as of late in his last 5 games. Is 8 for 22 with 2 homers. He awaits from the left side from the windup. Here's the first offering from Hunter. It's dotted on the low and inside corner. Called strike 1. Scannell wearing those pants pulled up just beneath the knees, as is all of the Harwich Mariners today, to show off those nice Mariners socks. They got red stripes on them with white stripes in the middle. So 3 red stripes with 2 separating those, and then it's all blue stirrups other than that. As Scannell takes down low, it's 1-1 now. 1-1 from Hunter is a fastball just upstairs, 2-1. Scannell with the no batting gloves look too. Is that 1 batting glove on the bottom hand? It is. So he's got 1 batting glove on the right hand, a bare left hand. The 2-1 pitch is rattled on the ground towards first. A 3-hopper gloved by Hansen, who takes it to the bag himself and has out number 1. So Hansen tested early on, just as we saw a couple days ago. Matt Klein's first start at first base. Hansen gets a ground ball there to start off this second.
Mike Roberts continuing to shuffle things over at first base. You see Matt Klein, Tyler Cerny got the nod last night. Now it's Luke Hansen, and all 3 have done a really quality job at first.
Yeah, having to go to the bench, figure out who's going to be the everyday first baseman, at least for, Tanner Thatch isn't here. As the first pitch was a called strike 1 to Michael Anderson, and now the next pitch is a breaking ball low and outside, called strike 2. So Aiden Hunter getting ahead early on the heart of this Mariners lineup. 0-2 to count to Anderson with 1 gone. He takes low and away on the breaking ball. 1-2. Infield and outfield playing straight up. Hunter from the windup. Here it comes. Anderson watches it go by upstairs. Count evens up at 2-2. Anderson with a phenomenal day against the Kettleers the last time these two teams met. Actually went 1 for 2 in game 4. But then on opening day, 4 for 5 with 5 RBIs. 2-2. Hit hard on the ground towards third base, gloved by Naraki, who's up with it gunning to first, well in time to get Anderson there for the second out.
Anderson has hit the ball well this summer, hitting .282, but just got a pitch from Hunter that he chopped hard on the ground. Naraki moving over a couple of steps, fielding it cleanly and making the strong throw. And really nice job so far by Aiden Hunter, working weak contact, and of course rolled the 1-4-3 double play to end last inning, and now has gotten 2 quick outs here in the second.
So with 2 gone, here comes Jake Ogden out of UNC Greensboro. This is 21st game played of the summer. First pitch is hit hard down the left field line and just out of the reach of Nolan Naraki. It goes down the line as Brandon Compton throws it into second, but pumping on the brakes at first is Jake Ogden. So he will return to the first base bag with 2 outs in this inning. The Mariners will have a base runner.
Ogden jumping on the first pitch from Hunter there, lining it right down the third base line, and a nice play by Brandon Compton in left field to relay that ball in quickly. Ogden took a big turnaround first, but had to put the brakes on.
Righty on righty matchup once more with Macon Winslow at the plate. Ogden plops back on the bag on first base. Aiden Hunter checking back there. 2 outs in the inning. Getting Scannell and Anderson to start it off, and then allowed the second base hit of this ball game to the Mariners, and they'll check back at first once more. He's back in diving. Winslow playing in his 13th game for the Mariners this summer. Awaits the first pitch from Hunter. Here it comes. It misses low. 1-0. Winslow so far, a .227 hitter, has blasted 2 homers. From the stretch, Hunter, 1-0 pitch is on the outer half, called to strike 1. And Winslow coming off a year at Duke where he hit .250 and 40 starts behind the dish as a freshman. Now the next pitch misses up high above his letters, 2-1. Had some time behind home plate, was the number 8 overall prospect in the ACC out of high school. Went on to appear in over 30 games behind the dish for Duke this past season and caught 3 runners trying to steal second out of 16. 2-1 misses down in the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Winslow, and he just got another one there on the summer to nab his counterpart Grant J at second to end the top of the second inning. So Winslow ahead in the count 3-1. Hunter brings the ball into his tan glove, coming set above the belt. The 3-1 home. He lunges after it and fouls it straight back, does Winslow. Count full now. So still some slight patchy overcast clouds above head. Trees lining the outfield at White House Field. Some fans behind the left field fence in their lawn chairs, some behind right field as well. And now the 3-2 pitch with the runner going. It's a swing and a miss at strike 3. Macon Winslow goes down on strikes. It's the first of the day for Aiden Hunter to get out of this bottom of the second frame. So the Kettleers leading 2-0. And before we send it to the third inning, we'll send it to Adele Huffman.
Thanks, Joe. Yes, before the game, I spoke with the guys about a superpower that they would like to have if they could choose anything. First up was Devin Taylor with time travel. But his reasoning is because he wants to be a baby again. He said, you have no worries when you're a baby. So, Devin Taylor, time travel. Nolan Rocky and Charles Davlon, both teleportation. I guess that could help you get from base to base pretty easily. Tyler Cerny with shape shifting. Nate Hall with super speed, again, could help out with the game. Max Ballou would like to fly, and Timo Becerra with spidey senses. He really wants to smell better, taste better, hear better, all of the above. So, Joe and Alex, you know what I'm about to ask you guys. What is your superpower?
Well, I don't have any superpowers.
Would you like to have a certain superpower? I feel as though most of these relate to the game of baseball. Fly, teleport.
Flying, I think, would be awesome.
I feel like time traveling would be sick.
Oh, yeah.
Going back in time, seeing different eras, I feel like it'd be pretty cool.
What would you do if you could go back in time and time travel?
It's a good question. That I didn't think of. What I would do, I don't know. I feel like I'd go back and just see like different eras and kind of experience culture and see what living in the 1970s and 1980s would be like.
Would you like to broadcast a 1970s game?
Honestly, though, yes. I'd go even back further. Give me 1920s baseball. Give me all the old guys that we kind of have heard just rumors about and baseball lore about. That'd be really cool.
Maybe 1868 for the first baseball game, Cincinnati Reds.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. All right, Adele. Don't go off yet. We need to ask you what would your superpower be?
Okay, well, I didn't think about this. I'm supposed to ask you guys the questions. Okay. If I had any superpower, it would definitely be to speak I guess this isn't necessarily a superpower, but I would like to speak every language in the world. Imagine that.
Well, you already speak some Chinese.
A little bit.
Luke Hansen will get hit by the pitch there on the back foot, and he will advance to first to lead off this third inning. Speak every language. Not a bad skill.
I didn't think about that.
No.
I kind of like it, though.
I'm with Timo Becerra, Spidey Senses. I think that's my favorite. So Devin Taylor is now the batter as the lineup card flips back up to the top. Luke Hansen is on first base. And Taylor takes low and outside for a called strike one. Just the second pitch he's seen in this ball game. The first one exiting this ballpark in left center field. With that bat just above his left shoulder, he checks his swing and goes around about 60%, says the home plate umpire, to fall back to 0 for 2. So Luke Hansen fell behind in the count 0-2. Broke his bat, so that gave us an extra second to talk about what our favorite superpowers are. And then he got hit by the pitch. And we were talking with the Harwich broadcasters before this game, Alex. Hayden LeFew's last time out hit 4 batters. He pitched over 5 innings and pitched very well against Bourne, but had trouble finding the box at times. He's ahead 0-2 in the count here to Devin Taylor and just checked at first to Luke Hansen, who's there standing up. Now he comes set. The lefty pitching from the stretch, looking at first, goes into his windup and throws. That one rattled straight past the first baseman Anderson, and it splits through the first and second baseman into right field. Runner rounding second and heading for third is Luke Hansen. He'll be in there standing up, and it's back-to-back base knocks for Devin Taylor to improve to 2 for 2.
This is something we talked about last night, Joe, but the Kettleers really struggling with hitters, with their leadoff hitters. Cotuit their leadoff hitters averaging just 172 so far this summer. That's ninth so far in the Cape, but Devin Taylor hitting leadoff for the second night in a row. Blasted a home run last night. Now he's 2 for 2. So maybe Mike Roberts putting Taylor at the leadoff spot is figuring out some of those woes.
Naraki foul tips one off the glove of Macon Winslow. Falls behind 0-1. So now count 0-1. He's swinging away, though. No outs are in the inning, Alex. But a lot of times you might see Roberts try to dial up some small ball plays here. Maybe a bunt with runners on the corners and nobody out. Next pitch from LeFew misses up and away.
We've seen Nolan Naraki put down a lot of sacrifice bunts, but not with a guy who's swinging as hot as Naraki is. 6 for his last 13, pair of extra base hits, 4 RBIs, and now he's an opportunity to drive in another here.
Count is 1-1. LeFew looks in. Middle infielders are playing back, and they'll check back at first. Devin Taylor puts his left foot on the bag, standing up. So both of these pitchers, LeFew and Hunter, spending a lot of attention to the runners on first base. About to throw the third pitch to Nolan Naraki. Right-hander awaits and now takes low and inside for a called strike 2. Naraki rolled out to shortstop his last time up. But going into this ball game, 6 of his last 12, now 6 of his last 13, a pair of home runs in that stretch as well, or at least one home run. It was the 2-run bomb last night in Hyannis. Now he swats at this one, pops it up. Into foul territory goes Jake Ogden, who's battling the wind but locates it beneath the clouds for out number 1, and the runners will remain on the corners.
Ogden came running in on that ball, and just the wind took it a little bit, had to backtrack and camped underneath it for the first out. And that was a big first out for Hayden LeFew. Now you still have runners on the corners, but a double play ball gets you out of it.
So now it's Brandon Compton. Hit a grand slam the last time we were here at White House Field. Now has 2 runners on base and takes a big cut at a first pitch slider. And misses. It's 0-1. Struck out swinging his last time up. And reached for his 18th game last night in Hyannis. He walked twice. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swatted foul high and out of play towards the home grandstand. And it goes just over it for a foul ball. So Compton behind in the count 0-2. So there's a home grandstand on the third base side of this diamond, just in between the press box and the Harwich dugout. Also a grandstand directly to our right. And the Kettleers are calling for a balk there as that one's flared into shallow right field. Going back on it, Kurland, and he makes the grab. Coming home to score from third is Luke Hansen, and he is safe with the head first slide. And the Kettleers make it a 3-0 game. Some confusion on the infield, though, as the home plate umpire is pointing towards the first base ump. Of course, the Kettleers wanted a balk call there on Hayden LeFew. The pitch was fought off into center field. Compton is going to have the bat returned to him. Moving up to second base goes Devin Taylor. Of course, the runner on third was Luke Hansen. He would score on the balk, and it looks like that call is going to hold up.
And Devin Taylor, who was leading off first base, instantly called it, pointing at the first base umpire, saying he called it a balk. He called it a balk, so he never went back to the bag. And so now Brandon Compton digs in for another at bat here, but Cotuit up 3-0, and a discussion's going on.
Yeah, Steve Englert and the home plate umpire Jeff Merzell just made that call. Mike Roberts is standing with his hands behind his back, just behind them at the third base coach's box. So the lights are still not on here at White House Field. Plenty of fans in the visitors' grandstand directly to our right. Just to the right of that is the Kettleers dugout. There's a small grassy hill to the right of that where plenty of fans sit there in their beach chairs, beach towels, taking in game 23 of this CCBL season, where the Kettleers are 13-9, Harwich 9-13. And a pretty big field is White House Field. 330 down either baseline into the left and right field corners, and 400 to straightaway center. So the discussion between Englert and Merzell concludes, and LeFew comes set. The tan glove just at his belt. Devin Taylor dancing around back at second, and the 0-2 pitch to Compton is lifted into straightaway center. A lazy fly for Matt Scannell, who settles under it. Makes the grab. Devin Taylor hesitates for a moment, then takes off for third. The throw comes in from Scannell, and it's in time. So they nab Taylor at second, getting a double play on the fly ball to center field. So the Kettleers will bring one run home on the hit by pitch who came around to score on the balk. That was Luke Hansen, who led off this frame. The single for Devin Taylor, but the inning quickly ends after that. And the Kettleers lead it 3-0 as we go to the home half of the third here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/allstargame. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
3-0 your score here on the Ketts Radio Network. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco, Cam Christie are with you. As we move into the bottom of the third, Kettleers with a 3-run lead. And the Mariners will bring up 8, 9, and 1 in this inning to face Aiden Hunter, who works into his third inning of work. Has allowed 2 hits, no runs so far. Goes into his windup, and the pitch is a breaking ball low and outside. Ball 1 to Luke Heyman, who did not get the start against the Kettleers in the first 2 times these 2 teams played, but did face Cotuit with the Falmouth Commodores a summer ago. Now he rolls one foul past his third base coach, and out of play, it's 1-1. So far, off to a bit of a slow start this summer is Heyman. Of course, coming off of a season at Florida where they went to back-to-back College World Series. And now he checks his swing at the next pitch. It's up in the zone, and down in the count 1-2 goes Heyman. Played 66 games for the Gators this past season, hitting .246. The 1-2 from Hunter. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hunter climbing the ladder with the fastball, and he locates his second straight strikeout to start off this top of the third.
And that's both times on the strikeouts for Aiden Hunter, where he's elevated high with that fastball, got Macon Winslow to strike out. Now Luke Heyman on the high fastball. So nice job of Hunter, who's having control of the high heater.
Now Cam Maldonado, he takes up and in for a called ball 1. Maldonado, right-handed swinger, facing Hunter for the first time, and he is the 9-man in this order. As the next pitch is cracked into straightaway center field. Racing back is Max Ballou. Looking up, he runs out of space, and that ball is gone. A solo home run for Cam Maldonado, his third of the summer. And the Mariners get on the board here in the bottom of the third. It's 3-1.
That's a Mariner home run by Cam Maldonado. This week it means another $500.
Maldonado hit that to the deepest part of the park, straightaway center, right over the center field wall where it's 400 feet, and just got a pitch that he could drive from Aiden Hunter. And that was similar to Hunter's last start against Bourne, where he really limited the damage on base, but just made one mistake. That was a home run to Cam Kojal, just a second batter of that ball game, but makes a mistake, and Maldonado makes him pay.
The first pitch is down low to Ryan Weingartner, the next hitter. Yeah, making a mistake to Maldonado, who has continued to swing a hot bat for the Mariners. And the next pitch at the knees of Weingartner, 1-1. Infield and outfield playing straight up. The next pitch bounces in there, blocked by Granche. Nobody's on base, though. There's one gone, now a 3-1 ball game. Top of the lineup, and Ryan Weingartner is at the plate. He flew out to right field to start off his day. Playing at shortstop today for the Mariners. 2-1 pitch. Taken, low and outside, 3-1. Weingartner going into this ball game with the 4th best on base percentage in the league at .449. He leads this team in 18 walks, or with 18 walks, and now he swings through a low and outside pitch to bring this count full. The All-Atlantic 10 first-teamer awaits the payoff pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of this 3rd inning for Aiden Hunter. 3rd of the ball game, and there are 2 gone.
Although Weingartner's reached base at a really impressive clip, working 18 walks, he's also fallen victim to the strikeouts this year. That's now his 20th strikeout in 17 games, and nice job by Aiden Hunter battling back after falling behind in the count, and 3-1, and gets 2 swinging strikes against Weingartner.
Yeah, great job and a great battle by Aiden Hunter to work his way back into the count to pick up the 2nd out of this bottom of the 3rd. 3-1 the score. He brings the glove in front of his face, now back behind his head, and he throws. Breaking ball that's fanned through for strike 2, and Curlin back to 0-2. So he's 1 for 1, cracked the first single of the day for the Mariners, leading this team with a batting average above .310 now. Hunter's 0-2 is rolled through the left side of the infield, and that gets through for a base hit once more. So nearly copy and paste singles there for Cade Curlin in the 1st and in the 3rd innings, just past Nolan Naraki, splitting him and Cerny.
Hunter just left a pitch right down the heart of the plate, and Curlin, like you said, Joe, copy and paste and just move it 2 innings later is just a rocket off of his bat into left field as Harwich keeping the inning alive.
Now it's Danny Dickinson who ended that 1st inning. 0 for 1 today, grounded into a double play. Cade Curlin will dive back into first base safely. 2 for 3 in stolen bases this season is Curlin out of Florida. And now he takes a 5-step lead over there, being held on by Luke Hansen. Rest of the infield straight up. The first pitch to Dickinson is low and outside, but called to strike 1. Dickinson going into this season the WAC preseason player of the year. And boy, did he deliver. Coming set is Hunter. Breaking ball upstairs, 1-1. Helped that Utah Valley team dominate the WAC. They led that division in scoring, home runs, team OPS, on base percentage, slugging. I mean, pretty much every single offensive category. And the man who led the team in all those categories is at the plate. But he skies this one on the infield. Hansen running into the infield grass is called off by Cerny, who pulls it down just behind the mound to get the 3rd out. So the Mariners will bring 1 around to score on Cam Maldonado's solo home run and leave 1 stranded on first base after Cade Curlin's single. Kettleers still in control, 3-1 as we go to the top of the 4th. You're listening to Cape League Baseball here on the Cotuit Baseball Network.
Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/allstargame. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website. Nathan Hall will lead off the top of the 4th inning for the Kettleers. They lead it 3-1. He bats from the right side and is 1 for 1 today. First pitch from LeFew. Works into his 4th inning and misses up high with the fastball. Chin music to Hall, and it's 1-0. Now the lights are on here in Harwich. Overcast clouds overhead, and the 1-1 pitch, or 1-0, now makes it 1-1 with the low and inside fastball. Hall not getting the start in yesterday's game. Reinserted into the lineup, and so far with a base knock. 1-1 pitch. That one crushed down the left field line. A scorching drive, but that will twist into the left field corner, but foul.
Blast off the bat of Nathan Hall, just a little bit out in front. The 1-1 pitch from the lefty Hayden LeFew, just a rocket, and if he keeps that ball straight, that's headed for extra bases for Nathan Hall.
Yeah, trying to straighten it out. The 1-2 pitch is low and inside. A lot of hard hit balls for Nathan Hall, who clearly likes playing at this ballpark.
And likes playing against Harwich, 3 for 6.
That's right. That one also crushed down the left field line, but a bit further foul and over the Harwich bullpen. That is down the left field line at the base of that fence. It's a tall fence that goes all the way down the left field line and goes down to a shorter fence in the left field corner, but grassy areas for all these kids to run around in surrounding White House Field. And now the next pitch is up and inside on Hall, 3-2. So just as there is down the first base line, a small hill where fans have their lawn chairs on the grass watching this baseball game from the third base side, as that pitch misses high and wide, and Nathan Hall leads off this top of the fourth inning with a base on balls.
It's a quality at bat for Nathan Hall. A pair of long foul balls deep down the left field line. Looked at some tough pitches and worked out a 7-pitch walk to begin this top of the fourth.
Nathan Hall a short lead at first. And Jaron Advincula, the batter, left on left matchup. LeFew is set. Here it comes. That one goes over the head of Advincula, who ducks down beneath it, and Nathan Hall advances to second on the wild pitch. So they'll have a runner in scoring position with nobody gone. Advincula ahead 1-0. So Nathan Hall not having to use some of that super speed that he wants to be his superpower. He just walked to second base there with the wild pitch.
You've seen him run all over the base paths today, as a stolen base and advanced twice on a pair of wild pitches. So maybe he doesn't need that super speed, even though he might want it. He definitely one of the faster players on this Cotuit roster.
Yeah, he scored his last time around the order in the first. Second run of this ball game, Cotuit now leading 3-1, and a mound visit between the pitcher and catcher of Harwich. LeFew is going to get looked at by the trainer, it appears here. And someone will get up and start stretching and loosening up at the Harwich bullpen. Looks like everybody's going to, actually. Yeah, the trainer grabbing onto the left shoulder of LeFew. So a lot going on pregame here at Harwich. White House Field. Of course, it is Red Shirt Friday across the entire CCBL, so every home team wearing those all red uniforms. And I think we've mentioned this before. I can't remember which team it was, but this is a Harwich team and the rest of their uniform that actually complements the Red Shirt Friday jersey.
This is definitely not the first time we've mentioned it. I'm trying to remember the team prior, but I like the cream pants with the red jerseys. It's a good look and even matches with the syrups.
Yeah, it does. Those are pretty sweet too. Everybody on the infield wearing the pants underneath the knees. Stir-up socks, white socks beneath them with some stripes around the calves. So they're still talking things over. Now Steve Englert will come out and talk with LeFew. Trying to buy some time for a couple of arms to warm up in the Harwich bullpen right now. But yeah, a lot going on pregame. There was a bagpipe ceremony as the flags were walked in from left field. Plenty of service members, policemen and women surrounding home plate for the national anthem. And around the bathrooms on the third base side, there had to have been close to 20 cop cars, trucks, everything. There was a massive fire engine with the ladder extended to pretty much its maximum length, as LeFew will be taken out of this ball game. But there was a massive flag hanging off the end of that, just as we see in Chatham in deep right center field. So pretty cool, but all of those vehicles exiting the ballpark. So pretty cool to see that pregame and a lot going on as it is the first responders night of the season here at Harwich, as I learned pregame. But pretty cool to see all those events going on. Plenty of fans showing up and showing out for this event. But unfortunately for them, their Mariners are trailing 3-1. Cotuit in control 3-1 in the midst of this top of the fourth inning. A new pitcher will be entering the game for the Harwich Mariners. We'll step aside. Don't go anywhere on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services.
So the new pitcher into the game for the Mariners, it's Jason Finkelstein, 6'2", 198-pound right-hander out of Babson, getting his first appearance of the summer and was added to this Harwich roster today. 1-0 pitch to Advincula. He shows the bunt and pulls it back. 2-0 the count as it misses up and away to the left-handed swinging Jaron Advincula. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. Finkelstein working from the stretch with Nathan Hall on second. The 2-0 pitch. Advincula pulls the bunt back again, and it's 3-0 now. So they take out Hayden LeFew, who appeared to have some sort of an issue. And so they brought in the new arm, the right-hander, for the first time this season. And he enters with the runner on second. That was the leadoff man who walked. Jaron Advincula takes a strike at his knees, making it 3-1. Finkelstein coming off of his freshman season at Babson, going 8-3 in 14 appearances. The 3-1, Advincula showing bunt, but he fouls it straight back off the netting behind home plate, and the count will be full to Advincula. Who recently has been slowed down a little bit, Advincula has, but just for his standards, still batting .391. Now he turns on this one, pops it up. Into foul territory goes Ogden towards the warning track there, and just in front of the bullpen of Harwich, he pulls down the first out of the inning. Jaron Advincula will leave the runner stranded on second, and that'll bring up Tyler Cerny.
Nice job by Finkelstein coming in, facing a dangerous hitter in Jaron Advincula and pulling behind in the count 3-0 and then just making 3 quality pitches to get Advincula to pop up.
Finkelstein takes a look at second. Now the first pitch to Tyler Cerny is a breaking ball that misses up at 75. Called ball 1. Cerny striking out on a looking K. Back in the second inning, started off that frame where the Kettleers went 3 up, 3 down. And now the 1-0 pitch to the righty. Lifted into straightaway center field. Medium depth for Matt Scannell. who makes the grab. Hall taking off from second, running towards third base. Throw comes in, tagged by Ogden, not in time. So Nathan Hall reaches third, and a quality at bat there for Tyler Cerny as he goes back to 0 for 2.
We've seen Mike Roberts be extremely aggressive, especially with 2 outs in the inning. Saw Devin Taylor tag up from second last inning, but he was doubled up. Grant Jay was thrown out trying to attempt to steal second base. That ended the second inning, but gutsy move by Nathan Hall to tag up from second as he slides in safely.
New batter is Max Ballou. Lefty takes a fastball low and away. Ball 190 on the gun with the fastball. Jason Finkelstein. So in 14 appearances this season, 65 2/3 innings, as he evens the count at 1-1, fashioned a 4.80 ERA. Walking 30 batters, giving up 68 hits, all while striking out 61. Comes set from the stretch with the runner on third. That one blasted deep right field. Back going Maldonado to the fence. All he can do is watch it fly out of here. Max Ballou, a 2-run blast in the top of the 4th inning, gives the Kettleers a 5-1 lead.
We were waiting for the power from Max Ballou to be on display there. Had yet to hit a home run in a Kettleer uniform, but just got all he can handle on that pitch from Finkelstein and deposited it deep over the right field wall.
His first home run of the summer. And now the 5th home run for the Kettleers at this ballpark in just over 11 innings. And that one's rolled on the ground, foul by Grant Jay off the end of his bat. 0-1 the count to him.
Ballou hit 18 home runs this past season at Texas, and one of the most dangerous hitters in this Cotuit lineup. Made it happen last night on the mound, and now his bat picking up with the 2-run bomb.
Yeah, just a night after pitching 3 innings, his first appearance in summer ball as a pitcher, as Jay flares one foul over the away grandstand just to our right. Turning in 3 innings of work last night, he did give up 1 home run, but important to note that it was not on the knuckleball. It was a fastball. So that knuckleball untouchable for Max Ballou. And returning the favor tonight. 0-2 pitch to Grant Jay is beneath his knees. Count 1-2 now. So Grant Jay reaching first base on a walk his last time up. Then caught trying to steal second. The 1-2. Jay watches that one go by low and outside, and that's a called strike 3. So Jason Finkelstein is able to work his way out of this top of the 4th inning, not before giving up a 2-run blast to Max Ballou, and the Kettleers take control even more, 5-1 as we go to the home half of the 4th here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Aiden Hunter heads back out to the bump for the bottom of the 4th inning. Kettleers now leading 5-1. They've knocked 4 hits, 2 homers, and that's been the difference today, and just as it was the last time we played here.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Joe, just the power of the Kettleers coming alive now. 5 home runs here at White House Field, and just a far different outcome from last night's game where it really took a couple of innings for Cotuit's bats to pick up. A home run by Devin Taylor really got him a jump start, but now they put up 5 runs so far through 4 innings and been a much better offensive performance so far.
It hasn't been a horrible offensive performance for Harwich to this point. Just haven't been able to string many of those hits together. They do have 1 run. On 4 hits, it was the solo home run off the bat of Cam Maldonado. The first pitch of the bottom of the 4th inning comes in from Aiden Hunter. 83 miles an hour, low and outside, called to strike 1 to start off Matt Scannell 0-1. And he is 0 for 1 today. Batting from the left side, he awaits. Next pitch. Finds the zone on the breaking ball. It's 0-2. So Scannell falling behind immediately in this count. Went deep last night. 0-2 pitch. Finds the dirt. 1-2 the count now. The guy who's been a utility man so far for the Mariners, splitting time between first base and the outfield. Also a pitcher at Princeton where he goes to school. Played 43 games there. Slow tapper on the ground towards the first base side and foul. He stays alive. Scannell, returner to this Harwich team. Playing in 23 games for the Mariners last summer in 3 games against the Kettleers, going 4 for 13 at the plate. Also pitched against the Kets in 2 appearances. 1 inning with a strikeout. Now he rolls this one slowly on the ground towards Luke Hansen, who picks it up about 3 feet in foul territory. Scannell working a battle despite being down 1-2. But being a utility man is really what he's done a lot of at Princeton. Being a two-way threat, playing in the outfield, playing at first base, but a hamate bone injury sidelined him for the rest of the summer last year, and that took him out of a pitching role until late in April, as that one's rocketed deep right field. It hits off the base of the wall. Giving chase was Hall, who's up with it, gunning to second. Scannell slides in feet first, safely into second with a 2-strike, no out double.
First double of the season for Matt Scannell there, and hopped on a pitch that he can drive against Aiden Hunter after working deep into the count and just blasted that to deep right field.
Not a massive figure for Scannell, but clearly a strong guy, 6 foot 200. And he actually set a Princeton baseball weightlifting record, a 720-pound trap bar deadlift. Scannell pulled that off this past season. He takes an 8-step lead at second. The count is 0-1 to Michael Anderson, who's 0 for 1. The next pitch from Hunter misses upstairs on the fastball, and it's 1-1. 84 on the gun there with the fastball from Aiden Hunter. As it looks like nobody warming up down the right field line in the Kettleers bullpen. No outs in this inning. Kettleers leading 5-1. 1-1 pitch from Hunter as he looks back at second. Here it comes. Breaking ball. Finds the low and outside corner. 1-2 to Anderson. Anderson out of Rhode Island, a .252 hitter there this past season with 13 bombs. Also a guy who's had some time as a two-way player, but no pitching appearances for the Rams this past season as he hits it hard on the ground towards third base. It eats up Nolan Naraki and goes into left field. Bounces off the thumb of his glove and just goes right over top it. He was playing even with the bag, and that a tough one to field as Anderson reaches first. We'll see how they score it, and they will give an error to Nolan Naraki. So runners on the corners to start off this bottom of the 4th for Harwich. Really exactly what they need, with Cotuit's offense really taking control of this game in the top half of this inning.
That it has, and Michael Anderson just hopping on a pitch that he could drive and hit it right at Naraki, who had that ball just eat him up. And like you said, Joe, just a great start for Harwich, now with runners on the corners and still no out.
Hunter comes set. Now he throws back at first. Anderson is in there standing up. The middle infielders will play back. Nolan Naraki slightly back of the bag, but playing close to the line there for the right-handed swinging Jake Ogden. He's 1 for 1. First pitch on the slide step is sent on a chopper to the third base side and foul behind the third base coach. Ogden at UNC Greensboro was the only Spartan to start in all 54 games there this past season, and started in plenty of games for the Mariners so far this year. This is 21st, has 17 hits, the last one in the second, his 18th. Now he takes a big cut, and he misses, and down in the count 0-2 goes Jake Ogden. Batted .313 at UNC Greensboro with 70 hits. Also 16 stolen bags in 18 attempts. Really did it all, and playing really well in the field as well. He's playing in at third base today. Now he lifts that one down the right field line. It will twist out of play. And Ogden staying alive at 0-2. Still no outs in the inning. Aiden Hunter working into his fourth inning of work, but has worked into some trouble here. Runners are on the corners with nobody gone. He comes set. The 0-2 pitch upcoming. Ogden checks his swing. Did he go? They'll check it first. Yes, he did. It's the fourth strikeout of the day for Aiden Hunter. To get the first out of the bottom of the fourth inning, runners are on the corners, in a very key out there for the right-hander out of Charleston.
The Harwich dugout disagreed with that call. A couple of jeers coming out from the home dugout there as Ogden goes down on strikes, but just a vital strikeout for Aiden Hunter there. And now you got a ball on the ground, chance to turn two.
Hunter set. Macon Winslow flares one straight back over our heads, foul, and down in the count 0-1 he goes after striking out his first time up to end the second inning. So Aiden Hunter making his return to the Kettleers this summer after going 3-0 in 7 appearances total for Cotuit last summer. 9 2/3 innings where he allowed 5 earned runs. The 0-1 pitch is fouled straight back over the press box. Down 0-2 goes Winslow. And really great progression for Aiden Hunter across his 3 years pitching in college baseball. Started off his career at South Carolina, where he had a 7.63 ERA and a large sample size as a freshman, 20 appearances. He's set once more. The 0-2 pitch, leaning out over the plate and knocking it into shallow center as Winslow. Cerny going back, goes into a dive. It's just out of reach. Scannell will come home and score from third to make it a 5-2 ball game. The runners will be on first and second with one gone.
Winslow with the 2-strike approach, just swing at a pitch that was low and outside and flaring that into short center field. Cerny gave it his best effort, went into a dive, but the ball just evaded his glove, and just a nice piece of hitting by Winslow, not trying to do too much, and dunks the ball down and picks up an RBI single.
Hunter coming set now with runners on first and second. Luke Heyman takes a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Hunter, going into his sophomore year, decided to transfer to the College of Charleston, where he went 4-3 with a 4.19 ERA. So really lowering that ERA, and then moving on to Cotuit, where he had an ERA, including his appearance in the postseason, that lowered his ERA to below 4, 3.97 in 7 total appearances for the Kets. And then went on this year at the College of Charleston with a 3.76 ERA in 16 appearances. 14 of those were starts. Now the 0-2 pitch misses upstairs to Heyman. And now 1-2 the count. So Hunter gradually lowering that ERA across 3 years in college, from 7.63 all the way down to 3.7 this past season. Now the 1-2 pitch, hammered into straightaway center. It holds up in the wind for Ballou, who camps under it, makes the grab, and faking the green light to third is Michael Anderson. Will put the brakes on there, and there are 2 gone with the runners still on first and second.
It was a strong throw in from Max Ballou from deep center field. Hit the cutoff man, Tyler Cerny, who was just a couple of feet in front of Nolan Naraki at the third base bag. And smart decision by Anderson, just faking and drawing the throw from Ballou. If that got away from Cerny there, as Mike Roberts heads out to the mound.
Cam Maldonado is 1 for 1 today with a solo home run, and we'll see if that's why Mike Roberts will decide to go to the bullpen for the first time today. Aiden Hunter pitching 3 2/3 innings. He did give up the 1 earned run on the solo shot to Maldonado. Did allow 6 hits and allowed 1 more earned run in this 4th inning after Scannell scored after leading off this frame with a double. So a new pitcher will come into the game for the Kettleers. The right-hander will be Christian Becerra. He will get another appearance in the pinstripes when we return on the Kettleers radio network. They lead at 5-2. Don't go anywhere from White House Field.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Looking to connect with the right business? ZoomInfo's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, ZoomInfo's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today. So the new arm for the Kettleers on the mound now, Christian Becerra, in the midst of this bottom of the fourth inning. He needs just one out to escape this frame. It started off with the double by Matt Scannell, then an error on the infield put runners on the corners. One run came in to score on the RBI single from Macon Winslow, and that made it a 5-2 ball game. Cotuit's still leading, and Christian Becerra working into what will be his third appearance for the Kets this season, Alex.
Becerra so far in 3 2/3 innings pitched has a 4.91 ERA, has allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 5, and last pitched at Hyannis back on July 7th, just a couple of days ago, and ate up an inning in 2/3, gave up 2 runs, 1 earned, and actually blew the save in that game, but came in through strikes and 28 pitches, 18 strikes, and that's exactly what Mike Roberts and company need here, with 2 guys on base and just needing 1 out to get out of the sham.
Yeah, 3 2/3 total innings on the season, 2 save opportunities at that. This time it won't be a save opportunity as he enters with 2 gone in this bottom of the fourth inning. He gives the thumbs up to Grant J. He's ready to go to face Cam Maldonado, who's 1 for 1 with the solo shot back in the third inning. The first runs of the ball game for the Mariners. They brought home 1 more in this fourth frame. So the offense getting going for Steve Englert's Mariners. Still trailing 5-2, and Christian Becerra inheriting 2 runners on base by Aiden Hunter. They're on first and second. Winslow on first, Anderson on second, and Becerra with the navy blue glove will come set. At his chest from the stretch, here it comes. A breaking ball misses just outside to the right-handed swinging Maldonado. 1-0. Maldonado with an incredibly effective freshman year at Northeastern, a .351 hitter in 54 starts, 74 hits with 13 homers. Now the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball is dialed in by Becerra, 1-1. But then went on this season to hit .265 in 42 starts. Did a great job of leading the team with 29 stolen bags and 8 homers. But less production at the dish. The 1-1 pitch. Maldonado takes down the heart of the plate. They'll say it's just high, though, and 2-1 the count now. Those 13 home runs was the most by a Husky in program history as a rookie. Previous record was 8 homers set in 2012, so 13. He shattered that record. 5 more homers. Was the CAA Rookie of the Year. Now he takes low and outside. Called strike 2. 2-2 the count to Maldonado. Entered the Northeastern campus in 2023, expecting to play infield for the Huskies, but made the transition to the outfield. Now the 2-2 pitch. Maldonado reaches out over the plate, skies it into foul territory. Giving chase is Naraki onto the warning track and back onto the grass. He hauls it down, locating that one through the overcast clouds above head and keeping this score at 5-2. As that concludes the bottom of the fourth inning, Cotuit with 4 hits on the board, Harwich now with 6. And before we go to the top half of the fifth frame, we'll check in again with Adele Huffman.
Thanks, Joe. I know we've got some pretty impressive players out here, but they also have heroes. So I wanted to talk to them about some MLB players that they look up to or mimic their game after. Devin Taylor is Juan Solo. He likes watching him for his contact skills, but then also he stays powerful at the plate. Max Ballou is a big fan of Drew Stubbs. He went to the University of Tennessee, so that wasn't surprising. Ballou said, quote, best player that ever lived. And Timo Becerra, Derek Jeter, an amazing player. But Joe and Alex, I know personally you guys are my broadcast heroes that I look up to. But do you guys have a specific broadcaster that you look up to or mimic your broadcasts after?
That's a really good question. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
Alex,
I was expecting the baseball player
yeah,
route.
and I know you were gonna say Derek Jeter probably.
I was not.
Oh,
I was
well
going to go
now we
Alex
need.
Rodriguez.
Oh, all right. I was gonna go Raffy Devers.
Fair.
Just so we're on the same page.
Glad we're on the same page.
But your favorite broadcaster?
Currently, I'd say right now, Brendan Burke, who does hockey for the Islanders, also was filled in doing Yankees on the radio with John Sterling's retirement. Also has done lacrosse, so doing a little bit of everything, and just like his journey doing national hockey, doing it for TNT in addition to the Islanders. So I'd probably have to say him. But I mean, there's so many talented broadcasters out there.
Yeah, it's true. It's really hard to choose one, but I'll go with you there on doing TNT on TV for hockey. Sean McDonough, a great voice for
Excellent
TNT,
choice.
and Joe Castiglione, also radio voice for the Red Sox. There's plenty to choose from, but sticking in Boston for sure. As Luke Hansen leads off this top of the fifth inning, flares one into the glove of the shortstop Ryan Weingartner, who robs Luke Hansen of what could have been his second career hit as a Kettleer, having to track deep into the hole beyond short to grab the first out.
It was a really nice play from Ryan Weingartner. Got a great jump on that ball and just holding it in, and looked like it was destined to find the outfield grass, but Weingartner took it back.
So now the lineup card flips back up for Devin Taylor. He's 2 for 2. First pitch is a fastball on the outer edge for a called strike one. 0-1 to Taylor. Home run in the first inning, single in the third. And then he was nabbed trying to sacrifice from second to third base on the fly ball by Brandon Compton. The 0-1 pitch. Taylor takes up and away on the fastball. It's 1-1. And he is facing Finkelstein for the first time. Finkelstein, the right-handed pitcher out of Babson, hails from Walpole, Mass., a local kid. Righty on left as Taylor awaits. 1-1 pitch is taken low and inside. Taylor had to get out of the way of it, and it's 2-1. 79 on the gun with that breaking ball. So Taylor with homers in back-to-back ball games. He's now up to 3 on the season, all 3 of them going the opposite way. Now he takes up and inside, 3-1.
All three also have come on the road.
Yeah, that's right. Orleans last night in Hyannis, and now White House Field. 3-1 is dribbled on the ground towards shortstop. Third baseman Ogden will play it on the run and in the infield grass. Makes a nice throw across the infield for the first out, or the second out of this inning. But important to note that the infield was playing way shifted to the right side, pull side for Devin Taylor. So the third baseman Ogden had to go pretty much towards medium depth shortstop to get that ball.
Taylor doing a nice job going against the shift there. Hit it to right where the shortstop Weingartner would be playing, but Jake Ogden showing off his range there, fielding the ball and making a strong throw to retire Devin Taylor for the first time today.
So Nolan Naraki's day will end. He goes 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop out at the plate. Timo Becerra will step in and bat for him. Takes low and outside for ball one. Righty on righty matchup as he faces Finkelstein for the first time. The Fuse day ended in the fourth inning. Went 3 innings but pitched into that fourth, walked one batter, then threw a ball to Jaron Advincula, and then he was pulled from the ball game. Having to warm up quickly was Jason Finkelstein, who's in his first appearance for the Harwich Mariners. Now 1-1 the count to Becerra. Here comes the next one. A fastball that is drilled just beyond the infield. Curlin going back into the shallow outfield grass, has a beat on it, and pulls it down by his left ear for out number 3. So for the first time today, the Kettleers go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the fifth frame. Christian Becerra will return to the mound for the bottom of the fifth inning. But when we come back, my broadcast partner Alex Rocco will take you home on the play-by-play from here on out on the Kettleers Radio Network.
1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Under the lights here at White House Field as Cotuit leads Harwich 5-2 here in the bottom of the fifth. I'm Alec Tracco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman. Leading things off for the Mariners is the leadoff man, Ryan Weingartner. So it's 1-2-3 to begin this bottom of the fifth as Christian Becerra coming on, working his first full inning after coming in, getting a pop-up of Cam Maldonado. As Aiden Hunter's day is done, he went 3 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 6 hits. 2 runs, did not walk a batter, and struck out 4 as the first pitch from Becerra in around the knees called for strike number 1. Weingartner today, he's 0 for 2. The fly out to Nathan Hall in right field and struck out against Hunter, one of 4 punch-outs for the Kettleers starter as the 0-1 pitch breaking ball taken well outside to the right-hand hitting shortstop. Weingartner hitting .250 so far this summer through 17 games. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. As Becerra, 1-1. This one hit right to the shortstop, Tyler Cerny. His throw in time.
Yeah, they got him.
So Weingartner set down for the first out of the inning. Cotuit making a bunch of defensive substitutions as moving from short to first is Tyler Cerny. From third to short is Timo Becerra, and from first to third is Luke Hansen.
Yeah, a bunch of changes on this infield. It's interesting to see a 5-2 ball game, and have to check in on Nolan Naraki, who had a tough day at the plate, did make 1 error, but still seems a bit premature. But of course, Cotuit employing a lot of different guys at a lot of different positions this year. Luke Hansen has already played at third in a game. Tyler Cerny has started a game at first base, and Timo Becerra, of course, started a couple games at short. And then, of course, you got the everyday man at second, Jaron Advincula.
Now the next man, Cade Curlin. The 1-0 pitch runs too far, and Titan drills him just on that left elbow on the 1-0 pitch. So Cade Curlin reaches for a third time today. He was 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Now gets plunked by the 1-0 fastball from Christian Becerra.
Well, Harwich finally gets their base runner. They really thought that Weingartner was safe running up that first base line. It was a really tough call to make and a delayed call from the first base umpire. And that drew some outroar from the third base dugout.
Out to left fielder Daniel Dickinson, who watches the first pitch miss well low. Dickinson today had a tough day so far. He's 0 for 2. Bounced out into a 1-4-3 double play to end the bottom of the first and popped up to Tyler Cerny at short to end the third. Pickoff move back in safely with a head first dive is Cade Curlin. Curlin, 2 stolen bases so far this summer. Has been thrown out once. As Becerra, glove set at his chest, deals out of the stretch. Pitch low in the dirt. Going around on the swing is Dickinson, so the count is evened up at 1-1.
Yeah, he really tried not to swing, but that's just a great pitch from Christian Becerra. It falls beneath the zone on the breaking ball. Evens up at 1-1.
The 1-1 pitch taken well outside. It's the right-hand hitting left fielder, who, Joe, we've talked about a lot, really had a lot of success this past season at Utah Valley, now transferring to LSU, but hasn't put it together this summer with Harwich, hitting just 195. Becerra deals the 2-1 out of the stretch. Long fly ball deep into right field. Camping underneath it is Nathan Hall. Tagging from first is Curlin. Hall's throw up the line goes through the legs of Becerra. Backing him up is Luke Hansen. So advancing to second is Cade Curlin, but Daniel Dickinson retired for the second out on a long fly ball to right field.
Yeah, another tough day at the plate for Dickinson, who's putting the ball in play, just not making the hardest contact. And that one there, Hall having to go all the way towards the Kettleers bullpen. Everybody had to get out of the way, too, so he made that catch, and then the throw kind of got away from Becerra, but no harm done, and the runner stays on second.
Out's the lefty center fielder Matt Scannell, who's 1 for 2 today. The first pitch to him spiked in the dirt, gloved on the backhand of Grant Jay. Just running too far inside, and that was a really good block from Jay.
Yeah, Jay's played a great position behind the plate tonight. It's something that we haven't talked about a lot, but it is an area where he has struggled when he has been behind the plate, but having to work hard again here, and with the second pitcher on the mound in Christian Becerra.
Curlin takes a lead off second. The 1-0 looked at for strike number 1 to even the count up at 1-1. Scannell bounced into a 3 unassisted to Luke Hansen for his first at-bat, leading off the bottom of the second, and then led off the bottom of the fourth with a double that he later came around to score. Becerra's 1-1 pitch. Chopper hit slowly back to him on the mound, fielding cleanly. His throw spiked in the dirt. That hops over the glove of Tyler Cerny down the right field line. Coming in to score is Curlin. Taking the turnaround second is Scannell. He will make it all the way to third standing up. And just a routine play gets away from Christian Becerra as he spiked the throw. And now Harwich finds itself trailing just 5-3 here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, Becerra taking his time, maybe taking a bit too much time, and doesn't matter if it's 6'4" Tanner Thatch, 6'1" Tyler Cerny at first base. No one's getting to that ball as it hit the cutlet of the grass and just took a wild hop over the head of Tyler Cerny to the deep first base hole. And boy, another smart play on the infield by Becerra to cut off that throw that was headed to third.
Now the first pitch to Michael Anderson, a breaking ball that's looked at right down the heart of the plate. The second error today for the Kettleers. Nolan Naraki had one earlier, and Christian Becerra picks up his second so far this summer. The 0-1 pitch taken low and outside to Anderson, who bats from the right side, playing first base today. He's 0 for 2. Grounded out to third and reached on the error by Naraki. As Becerra, a long look in, glove set right at his chest, still working out of the stretch, kicks and deals the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there by Anderson as he's now down 1-2. Anderson got off to a really hot start, was the first Cape League player of the week after he recorded 11 base knocks, drove in 9 runs, and blasted 2 home runs. That included a 4-for-5 day against the Kettleers. As the 1-2 pitch taken low outside, the Kettleers defense thought it was ball 4, but they're going to say that Becerra balked. Coming in to score is Scannell. So Cotuit's lead now just down to 1. It's 5-4 after the balk from Christian Becerra.
Yeah, now Mike Roberts wants an explanation from the home plate umpire, Marzell, who gives him, that sounded like a one-word answer, and Mike Roberts back to the first base dugout. So an unforced error, and now 2 runs have come home to score on errors and 1 balk, I guess, in this bottom of the 5th inning.
The 1-2 to Anderson, pitch low in the dirt. He swings and misses. Jay applying the tag on him, so Anderson goes down on strikes, but not before Harwich plates 2 runs as Cade Curlin comes in to score after the error by Christian Becerra, and Matt Scannell comes in to score after the balk by Becerra. So we head to the top of the 6th with Cotuit leading Harwich 5-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
Harwich plays 2 in the bottom of the 5th as the Kettleers have a 5-4 lead to begin the top of the 6th from White House Field. Leading things off is Brandon Compton, who finds himself 0 for 2, hitting against Jason Finkelstein. First pitch to the lefty, Compton, looked at on the outside corner for ball number 1. Compton struck out in his first at-bat and then bounced into an 8-5 double play as Devin Taylor tagged from second, but was thrown out by Matt Scannell as the 1-0 pitch, once again, high and outside, so Compton is up in the count 2-0. Finkelstein, 2 innings pitched so far, 25 pitches, 14 strikes. Coming in relief of the starter Hayden LeFew as the 2-0 pitch gets well away from him and goes behind the glove of Macon Winslow and all the way back to the backstop here. Kicks off the fence, so the count is 3-0 against Compton. Finkelstein glove set just above his belt. Leg kick, the 3-0. Looked at just above the knees, but it's called strike 1. Compton came into today hitting .258 as he reaches for the first time today on a 5-pitch walk as that 3-1 pitch just ran too far inside for ball 4. So it's the first walk issued by Finkelstein today, and before he faces Nathan Hall, we'll have a visit on the mound.
And now that is a team-leading 13 walks on the year for Brandon Compton, who reaches and now his 19th out of 22 games played. And just a great job for him to reach first base in each of these games in any way possible, whether it be by fielder's choice, error. And that's just huge to have at the top or in the middle of your lineup, but in the top 3, which we've seen a lot of production from in these past few games, Alex. And it's just so good to see that production and be in cohesion with the bottom half of the lineup too, that is also producing today. So this is a lineup that has been producing 1 through 4. They're getting a lot of base runners, just not too many hits, 4 runs on the board. And the way that Harwich was able to bring home a pair of runs last inning on a couple of mistakes by the Kettleers in the field, it makes me wonder here if Roberts will try to go back to that small ball action and maybe lay down the bunt with Nathan Hall at the plate.
So leading off first is Compton. Hall today, he's 1 for 1. He came around to score twice. Singled in his first at-bat, walked in his second. Now Hall lays down a bunt right down the first base line. Fielding it is the first baseman, Anderson, as Hall goes out of the baseline, so he's out. Moving up to second is Compton. So it's a successful sacrifice bunt for Nathan Hall, as now that brings up the second baseman, Jaron Advincula, with a runner in scoring position.
7, Jaron Advincula.
Advincula, a tough day at the plate so far. Finds himself 0 for 2. 0 for his last 5, coming off of a 2 for 3 day at Wareham. Back in that 7-6 comeback victory for the Kettleers as the first pitch from the righty Finkelstein to the lefty Advincula runs too far in tight for ball 1. Advincula sees his average fall to 386, has had his average above 400 for most of the summer. This one, a one-hopper fielded by the shortstop Weingartner. His throw in time to nab Advincula. Moving up to third is Brandon Compton, so Advincula moves up the runner but there's 2 gone here in the 6th.
Yeah, that one scorched off the bat of Advincula. It takes one hard hop into the glove of Ryan Weingartner, who was holding the runner on at second, so he was playing closer to the bag. That's usually a hit without the shortstop there, and likely driving in the 6th run of the game for the Kettleers, but they'll have to rely on Tyler Cerny and some 2-out hitting to bring home that 6th run.
The first pitch to Cerny, low in the dirt, kept in front by Winslow, had to lunge the opposite batter's box of the righty Cerny. So 1-0 is the count. Cerny today 0 for 2. With a strikeout, the flyout that advanced Nathan Hall. The 1-0 runs inside as Cerny, has to back up out of the way. That fly ball advanced Nathan Hall to third. It was brought in just one swing later by Max Ballou, who gave Cotuit a big advantage, but have seen that lead slowly chip away as it's 5-4 here in the 6th. 2-1 is the count against Cerny. As the 2-0 pitch was a called strike on the outside corner, and now we'll have time.
Yeah, home plate umpire saying that Finkelstein needs to come set and look at the batter when Tyler Cerny is ready. He needs to get in the box and address the pitcher, and we'll see if they will give a pitch clock violation there. Now a 3-1 count to Cerny, and it will be a pitch clock violation. And now Steve Englert's going to want an explanation from Rizal. There's been a couple controversial calls tonight, Alex. The play at first base last inning, a couple of balks in this game. It's not an easy game to umpire for this crew, but both of these managers have had a couple scuffles with the home plate umpire.
Balk on each side, as now a pitch clock violation on Jason Finkelstein. So his 3-1 to Cerny. A high towering pop-up right on the third base side. Getting underneath it is Jake Ogden, who camps underneath it and gloves it down for the third out of the inning. So Jason Finkelstein surrenders a leadoff walk to Brandon Compton, but strands him on third base after 3 consecutive outs by the Cotuit Kettleers. We head to the bottom half of the inning with Cotuit leading Harwich 5-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
6, 7, and 8 due up for Harwich here in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Ogden, Macon Winslow, and Luke Heyman coming on to face Christian Becerra. And Joe, as we talked about in the break, this is a Harwich team who's playing good baseball. They come into today with a 9-13 record, but they've lost 7 straight. They've been competitive in those 7 consecutive losses.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, been right there. And it's been the pitching and late game performances by this Harwich offense and other teams' offense in the bullpen that is a big reason as to why they've lost 7 in a row. 6 out of those 7 games decided by 3 or less runs. Most recently last night, 7-6 in Chatham, and it was a comeback effort where they were down 7-1 through 5 innings in that game, and they came all the way back. So the Kettleers with a 4-run lead in this ball game, and Harwich, like they always have been, battling back.
Harwich scoring 4 runs over the last 3 innings, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 2 in the 5th, as the first pitch to Jake Ogden was a strike, swinging away at the 0-1. High pop-up that goes over our heads, so Ogden quickly down in the count 0-2 against Christian Becerra. The right-hand swinging third baseman, he's 1 for 2 today. Singled in his first at-bat, that coming in the second, and struck out in the fourth. Both at-bats against Aiden Hunter. So his first at-bat against Becerra lofts a fly ball that Jaron Advincula gets underneath right in short right field for the first out here in the bottom of the sixth.
Just a really difficult start to the month of July for this Mariners team. They're 1-8 after going 8-5 in the month of June, and it's just been the pitching staff that has completely fallen off the face of the earth. They're 10th with a 6.93 ERA. They've allowed the most hits. They've allowed the most earned runs this month of any other CCBL team. And honestly, Alex, it's not really close. Offensively, they're still there, though, producing at a pretty high clip. I mean, the 7th best batting average, maybe not that great or what you want to see, but the 3rd most runs, the 4th most hits, 3rd most homers. All of that in the small sample size that is just 9 games this month, but still, just it's definitely one-sided. And as we were talking to one of their broadcasters before the game, Carson Trail, he said that it's a candle that's burning at both sides for Steve Englert right now.
And Cotuit has seen this Harwich team put up runs as high pop-up off the bat of Macon Winslow right to Tyler Cerny over there at first base. So 2 quick pop-ups worked by Christian Becerra, and there's 2 gone here in the inning.
The long ball recently has been big for the Mariners. Back-to-back homers last night, 3 total. Scannell, Ogden, and Anderson. Those guys right at the middle of this Harwich lineup today, but Cotuit done a pretty nice job of keeping them silenced.
Now it's the DH Luke Heyman digging in for his 3rd at-bat. The only guy who hasn't faced Christian Becerra today. Swinging away at the first pitch. It's a high towering pop-up in center field. Camping underneath it is Max Ballou, who makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So after surrendering 2 runs at last inning, Christian Becerra comes back in this bottom of the 6th and gets 3 consecutive pop-ups and a fly ball as he works a 1-2-3 inning as we go to the top of the 7th with the Kettleers still leading 5-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
The Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Jason Finkelstein's day is done as he goes 3 innings, allows just 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, and struck out 1 while tossing 35 pitches at 19 for strikes. And that 1 run coming off the bat of the man who's set to lead off this inning, that being Max Ballou, as he came on in relief of Hayden LeFew, who also went 3 innings, struggled, giving up 4 runs, 3 earned. And now that gives way to Justin Mitrovic, the righty out of Elon, getting set to face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters here in this Kettleer lineup as Mitrovic coming on for the 5th time this summer.
Yeah, pitched in 14 games, made 14 starts for the Phoenix this past season with a 5.06 ERA. 96 strikeouts across his 80 innings pitched and 30 walks, so pretty good strikeout to walk ratio, and getting his 5th appearance for the Mariners this summer.
is 1-0 so far with a 4.05 ERA in those 4 appearances. As the first pitch to Max Blue, a hard chopper right to the second baseman, Curlin. He backs him up. His throw pulls the first baseman, Anderson, off the bag. So Blue reaches for the second time today on the second error by the Harwich defense.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you hit it that hard on the infield. A one-hopper off the glove of Cade Curland, and he has to rush to pick up the ball and throw it to first. Of course, the throw was offline. But to get another leadoff man in this inning, just as the Kettleers did an inning ago, they left a man on third base. Can't afford to do that again here with just a 1-run lead.
Now it's Grant Jay who looks at a first pitch strike from Mitrovic. Cotuit has put on the leadoff man 6 of 7 innings so far today as they lead 5-4. Here in the top of the 7th, as the Kettleers only have 4 hits, the Mariners with 6. Both teams with 2 errors aside, as this one dribbled right down the first base line. Fielding it cleanly is Anderson, who slaps the tag on Jay. Moving up to second is Ballou. So Jay advances the runner, and now that brings up Luke Hansen.
Yeah, another quality at-bat for Grant Jay, who's done a job today despite not getting a hit so far. Walked in the second inning, then he struck out looking, but able to advance the runner here and simply just doing his job, which is what he needs to do down at 8 in the lineup.
Now it's Luke Hansen. Swing away at the first pitch, lofting this one, and that'll dunk down into right field. Fielding it cleanly is Maldonado. Coming around third was Ballou. He puts the brakes on. There's no throw back to him as he slides in safely with a head-first dive as Luke Hansen picks up his second hit as a Kettleer, and now Cotuit has runners on the corners with just 1 out.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there from Luke Hansen, who was robbed of his second hit as a Kettleer in his last at-bat towards left field. This time he goes to the opposite way, a little spinner in off of his hands, and he fights it off. Now the runners with runners on the Kettleers with runners on the corners. Roberts was initially wheeling Ballou around third, but quickly put his left hand up, and Ballou was able to scamper back in safely.
Now it's Devin Taylor. The first pitch from him, well high and outside. Backing up and getting out of his crotch is the catcher, Macon Winslow. Taylor today is 2 for 3. Hit a home run on the first pitch of the ball game tonight, so an early 1-0 lead for Cotuit. As Mitrovic leaves the 1-0 pitch well above the letters, so Taylor up in the count 2-0 here. Taylor 6 for 18 since returning from Team USA. He's blasted a pair of home runs, has 3 RBIs since the return. The 2-0 pitch cut on and missed there as Taylor took a big cut out of it. So the count goes to 2-1. Mitrovic, the righty, working against the lefty Taylor. Glove set just at his belt. Leg kick, the 2-1. High towering pop-up on the infield. Camping underneath it is Cade Curlin over there at second base. He gloves it down for the second out of the inning as Taylor got well underneath it, popped it straight up in the air, and Curlin makes the easy grab for the second out.
Yeah, he was frustrated with himself there, immediately spun back in the direction of our broadcast setup here and speared his bat towards the Kettleers dugout. Made his way about halfway up that first base line, and once again they'll have to rely on 2-out hitting with Timo Becerra getting his second looks.
Becerra today 0 for 1. Popped up to Cade Curlin at second in his first at-bat, who came in for Nolan Naraki. The first pitch for him backs him up out of the right-hand batter's box. So 1-0, working against Justin Mitrovic for the first time today. Becerra came into today hitting .231 through 11 games, as the 1-0 pitch has to back him up on the 93-mile-an-hour heater. So Becerra came in for Naraki. He was playing at third, then he moved over to short. Luke Hansen moved from first to third, and Tyler Cerny from short to first. As Becerra swings away on the 2-0, fouls that straight back off the catcher Winslow. So walking out to the mound and handing Justin Mitrovic a baseball is the home plate umpire, Jeff Merzel. Cotuit today, hitting just 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They've only left one guy on base. That's something that Mike Roberts has talked a lot about as Luke Hansen running off for second. They'll just let him take the bases. That's a play that we've seen a lot. Max Ballou leading off third, but Luke Hansen tried to get in a rundown, but Harwich will just let Hansen take second.
Yeah, tried it again. Wisely was Mitrovic just to hold on to the baseball.
The 2-1 to Becerra, fastball low and outside in the opposite batter's box. The count is 3-1. Goes down as a stolen base for Hansen, his first as a Kettleer. So there's runners on second and third. 3-1 is the count, 2 outs in the inning. Cotuit still leading 5-4. The 3-1 pitch, Becerra goes around. He thought it was ball 4, tried to check his swing. That's called a strike 2, so the count runs full here. Mitrovic takes a long look in, now glove set at his belt, kicks and deals the 3-2 pitch. On the outside corner, Becerra lays off for ball 4. So it's just one pitch later, but Becerra works a walk, and now the bags are loaded for Brandon Compton.
Now batting for Cotuit, the left fielder from Arizona State, number 10, Brandon Compton.
Well, we've seen this one time this year. Compton stepping up with the bases juiced at White House Field, and the Kettleers in desperate need of some runs to try to pull ahead of the Mariners.
The first pitch from Mitrovic looked at the knees and outside, but it's called strike 1 to Compton, who's 0 for 2 today. The strikeout flew out into a double play and walked in his last at-bat just an inning ago. Mitrovic, the righty, deals to the lefty Compton. He tries to check his swing. The appeal to Mike Hinojosa, he did not go around. So the count is evened up at 1-1. And Joe, like you mentioned, Compton hitting a grand slam against Harwich. Part of his 3 home runs so far this summer, 13 RBIs, as the 1-1 pitch taken low. So Compton finds himself up in the count 2-1. That was a part of a red-hot stretch for Compton. 2 games one against YD, one against Harwich, where he went a combined 5 for 10, 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. As the 2-1 low in the dirt, kept in front by Winslow. So the runners will stay put as the bases remain loaded. 3-1 is the count on the Kettleers left fielder.
Strong block there from Winslow. Had to go into the right-hand batter's box to get it, and with the bases juiced, to keep those in front is incredibly important.
Mitrovic kicks and deals the 3-1 pitch. This one low in the dirt, and that's taken for ball 4. So Brandon Compton reaches on an RBI walk.
It looks like they called a balk, so it was called before the pitch was released, so they'll do the 3-1 pitch again. All the runners will move up, so they'll have them on second and third. The run, Ballou will come in and score from third, but Compton's still up there with a 3-1 count.
So it's the second balk today for the Harwich pitching staff, third overall, as the 3-1 to Compton. That finds the inside corner as it's looked at for strike 2. So the count runs full here, 3-2, 2 out. Cotuit leads 6-4. Hansen leads off third, Becerra off second. Mitrovic comes home with the payoff pitch. That one low in the dirt as Brandon Compton eventually works a walk. So back-to-back walks for Compton as the bases are now loaded once more for Nathan Hall.
Good day for Hall at the plate, and that's been really great to see as someone who really hasn't been able to work his way into the lineup in the past couple games, has played in 13 games for the Kets this season, but still batting at a strong 300 clip going into this game, and was not 6 of his last 12 going into this game, but has 12 hits so far on the season.
Hall swings away at the first pitch right to the shortstop Weingardner, who fields cleanly his throw. Pulls Anderson off the bag. That gets behind him. Advancing to second is Hall. 1 run comes in a score. That's Timo Becerra. So another fielding miscue for this Harwich infield as Ryan Weingardner fielded cleanly, double pumped his throw, and it was low, hopped over the glove of Michael Anderson as the Kettleers now take a 7-4 lead. 8-4 lead, excuse me.
Yeah, Hansen scores easily. Another fielding miscue. Their third error of this ball game. A couple of balks to go along with that, and credit the Kettleers for just taking advantage of that. On the other side, they're going to have to play some solid defense, pitch well to escape this game, but if you're Jaron Advincula right here, has been a great hitter in this Kettleers lineup, but so far today is 0 for 3, and this is a big at-bat for him, who's now 0 for 6 in his last 6 plate appearances.
So they'll give it a hit to Nathan Hall and an error by Ryan Weingartner. So it was nearly another balk by Justin Mitrovic, but another warning from Jeff Merzel as the count is 0-1 to Jaron Advincula, who is 0 for 3 today, still looking for his first hit. As Mitrovic, glove set at his belt, kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch, high chopper, foul down the third base line. So the count is 0-2 against the Kettleers' second baseman. "23 pitches so far for Mitrovic in the inning, 13 strikes. Looking to strand runners on second and third with Cotuit leading 8-4. He comes home with the 0-2 pitch. This one pops out of the glove of Winslow, but staying put on third is Brandon Compton.
Yeah, took a couple hard strides down the third base line, but then thought otherwise. Mike Roberts is having a few words with him right now, but probably saying if you're going to go, you got to commit to it. Can't hesitate. The second there's some hesitation, you're probably not going to make it home in time. But wisely, he goes back to that third base bag, and it's still 2-2.
The 2-2 to Advincula roped down the first base line, but well foul, as he was just out in front of that, but hit the ball well.
Yeah, looked like he was expecting fastball there, was way out ahead of it, barreled it, but puts it towards the Kettleers bullpen.
So Mitrovic, after the long fly ball off the bat of Advincula, comes set with 2 runners on, kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. This one gets away from Winslow. Coming home is Compton, as he scores easily as the Kettleers take a 9-4 lead. Moving up to third is Nathan Hall. So another wild pitch continuing to plague this Harwich pitching staff. Now Nathan Hall just 90 feet away from being the 10th run of the day for Cotuit.
Yeah, well, we've seen this Cotuit staff really struggle from missing the mark with a lot of pitches, a lot of base runners being able to advance and score, but today it's the Kettleers who are taking advantage of it, and Harwich really struggling, especially with these runners in scoring position.
The 3-2 pitch rocketed foul down the third base line, and another hard line drive off the bat of Jaron Advincula.
Going into this game, Harwich with a league most 38 wild pitches. Cotuit behind them at fourth with 33, but they continue to miss the mark and increase that stat.
3 wild pitches today as another payoff pitch fouled hard down the third base line. So Advincula continuing to see pitches here. 7 pitches so far in this at-bat. Mitrovic, the righty, working against the lefty, Advincula. The payoff pitch once more. Got him, swinging. Jaron Advincula goes down on strikes as Justin Mitrovic records his first strikeout of the contest, but not before. Cotuit puts up 4 runs in the inning as they now take a commanding 9-4 lead after 6.5 innings. And now we'll bring on Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thanks, Alex. Yes, I just want to spotlight tomorrow's game. Tomorrow, we will welcome the 1995 Kettleers back to Lowell Park for a reunion as we take on the Chatham Anglers. We're going to have a gathering with all the interns, players, fans, and obviously our returning 1995 Kettleers. So we're excited for some interviews with them, possibly. Maybe have a couple on the broadcast. Joe, Alex, what are you guys most excited for about tomorrow?
Well, it'll be super exciting. It's not something that we've really seen at Lowell Park, at least in my time here the last couple of years. So to be able to welcome back another team that has won a CCBL championship, I believe that was the 13th or 14th for the Kettleers, but fitting that it's against the Anglers tomorrow too, which is the team that they beat in 1995 to capture that championship. But yeah, it should be a great day tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to a few of them, have a couple of them up in the booth, and hopefully get to talk to head coach Mike Coots as well.
Should be a super exciting day, one day that I feel like a lot of us have had circled on our calendar, and should just be an excellent day at the ballpark, so I'm super excited for it. So now Cotuit bringing on a new pitcher. Michael Ebner comes in relief of Christian Becerra, as Ebner just taking some of his final warm-up pitches here. Excellent work once again, Adele. But Ebner this is his 5th appearance so far of the summer. Has a 3-0 record. He's yet to allow a run. He's yet to allow a hit. He's only allowed 3 base runners so far through 11 innings and has struck out 12. Last pitched against Bourne, coming a week ago. Went 2 innings in that 8-7 darkness called game. Came in and was just dominant. Walked 1 batter, struck out 4 while tossing 30 pitches, 18 for strikes. And is looking to secure the 9-4 advantage that Cotuit has after they put up 4 in the top half of this 7th inning.
Ebner pitching incredibly well on the road, winning the CCBL Pitcher of the Week a couple weeks ago, going 6 scoreless frames, did allow 2 hits with 4 strikeouts. Now has just allowed 3 base runners on the season, Alex. All 3 of which by way of the walk, has a 0.27 walks and hits per innings pitched. Just incredible, and he has been the most reliable arm in this Kettleers bullpen.
That he has, and now he gets set to work against Cam Maldonado. His first pitch to the tall right fielder, taken at the letters for ball 1. Maldonado today 1 for 2. With a home run, coming back in the 3rd inning. Made it a 3-1 game. As the 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, that finds the strike zone as that evens the count at 1-1. So the final line for Christian Becerra, he goes 2 1/3, does not allow a hit, allows 2 runs. None earned, did not walk a batter, and struck out 1. It's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball waved through and missed by Maldonado, so quickly Ebner gets ahead here at 1-2. Ebner, the righty, kicks and deals. The 1-2 pitch, just taken outside. So the count is evened up at 2-2.
95 there from Ebner. That's great to see. A guy who's usually down around 91, 92.
Ebner out of the stretch. The 2-2 pitch flared over the leaping glove of Timo Becerra at shortstop as that gets into left field. So Cam Maldonado picks up his 2nd hit today. That's the first hit allowed for Michael Ebner this summer.
And it barely gets over the glove of Timo Becerra. Great defense, of course, that goes overlooked in those 11 hitless innings pitched by Michael Ebner, but that one there off the end of the bat, it's a really tough base hit to lose that stretch to. But credit Harwich for getting exactly what they needed, which was a leadoff base runner.
The 7th hit of the day for the Mariners. They have 4 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors. Cotuit 9 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors. Now they head back to the top of this Harwich order. It's Ryan Weingartner who takes a big cut out of the 92-mile-an-hour heater and waves on and misses. So he's down on the count 0-1. He's 0 for 3 today with a fly out to right field in the 1st. Strikeout swing in the 3rd against Aiden Hunter, then grounded out to Timo Becerra in the 5th. Has led off every inning except for this at-bat, or led off every at-bat. The count is even at 1-1 after the 1-0 pitch missed outside from Ebner. Maldonado a short lead off first, being held on by Tyler Cerny. Ebner out of the stretch. Taking off for 2nd is Maldonado. The throw down from Jay just skips over the grass, so Maldonado swipes 2nd. So the Mariners have a runner in scoring position with no outs. Count is 2-1 against the leadoff man, Weingartner.
Harwich being really aggressive. Of course, you need to now that they're down 5 runs, trying to get back in this game any way that they can, and this is a good way to start that.
The 7th stolen base of the year for Cam Maldonado. He's dancing on 2nd, the 2-1 pitch. Hard line drive, foul. That goes right down the right field line and out of play. So the count is even up at 2-2. Weingartner announcing his transfer destination to Penn State. That coming back on June 10th before this season as a foul tip goes off the glove of Jay. So Weingartner stays alive. Really had a lot of success this past year at St. Joe's. Hit .316, made 55 starts, named to the All-Atlantic 10 first team.
How big of a boost do you think that'll be for the Nittany Lions lineup?
I think it should be a really good boost as the 2-2 pitch curveball taken low and outside, but this is a Nittany Lion team that has a lot of versatile players, especially in that middle infield. A guy, Grant Norris, similar to Weingartner, who coming in as a transfer, so he should factor in. Runner off for third, it's Maldonado. The throw down from Jay, not in time as Maldonado swipes the bag, but going down on strikes is Ryan Whitegardner as he foul tipped it straight into the glove of Grant Jay.
Well, that would have been a massive momentum-boosting play for the Kettleers. We talked about that a lot, but in pure Mikey Ebner fashion, that would have been a huge strike him out, throw him out double play to get 2 outs in this inning, keep a runner off the base, and only needing 1 more out. But you mentioned the great name of Grant Norris. Can't hold back by saying he played here last summer for the Kettleers. So great to see that name brought up.
First pitch from Cade Curlin. High towering pop-up that goes over the press box.
Jay Harry, also a Penn State Nittany Lion playing down here. Really strong middle infield there they got.
A lot of great shortstops coming in from Penn State. A lot of transfers that they've had. Jay Harry now in the Minnesota Twins organization. As the 0-1 from Ebner, high looping breaking ball taken at the letters for ball 1 to Curland. But Norris transferring in from Duke a couple of seasons ago and really saw his power develop this year, was a key part of Penn State's order. Made it all the way to the Big Ten championship as a slow ground ball hit to Ebner back on the mound. His throw to first in time to nab Curlin. Coming in to score is Maldonado. So Harwich makes it a 9-5 game, but more important, Ebner picks up the second out of this inning.
And allows his first earned run on the season, goes 11 2/3 innings. Just a phenomenal stretch for Mikey Ebner, a guy who is the #1 guy on this team in base runners allowed, walks allowed, and has fallen out of a lot of the qualified stats continually because of how deep this Kettleers bullpen is, but he has just been a force out there for Cotuit.
Something that we've talked about, Joe, and as of late, Cotuit's bullpen faltering, but one guy who hasn't has been Mikey Ebner, and where would this team be without him? As a hard line drive snag by Luke Hansen at third, pops it to his feet, throw in time to nab Daniel Dickinson as that ball hit off the glove of Hansen, goes just a couple of feet away from him as he makes a strong throw in time to nab Dickinson for the third out of the inning, but not before Cam Maldonado hits a leadoff single off Mikey Ebner and comes in to score off of the RBI groundout from Cade Curlin. We headed to the top of the 8th with Cotuit leading Harwich 9-5 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/allstargame. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new.
Justin Mitrovic back out on the mound facing Tyler Cerny, Max Ballou, and Grant Jay. As Cotuit leads 9-5 here in the top of the 8th, the first pitch from Mitrovic. Cerny checked his swing but goes around, so he's down on the count 0-1. Cerny today, another tough day at the dish. He's 0 for 3. As Mitrovic out of the windup kicks and deals a half-hearted swing from Cerny there as he's shaking his head. But quickly he's down 0-2.
Nasty breaking ball there from Mitrovic.
Mitrovic working out of the windup peers over his black glove as the 0-2 pitch chopped hard down the third base line but well foul, going right past the Harwich bullpen.
That's a good swing there, though, from Cerny. Just got to figure out a way to stay back on it. Now the scoreboard in right center field saying that he has 3 strikes on him, but still 0-2. He's fighting up there.
The 0-2 to Cerny. Hit right back where it came from, kicks off the second base bag and into center field, and avoiding the glove of a diving Cade Curlin. So Tyler Cerny snaps an 0 for 15 streak as he's now 1 for 4 on the day. as the Kettleers once again have another leadoff man on here in the top of the 8th.
And that was long overdue for Tyler Cerny. I mean, that's got to feel great for him to finally find a hole on this infield. He's been making great contact, as we've talked about all season, but along these rough patches that he's had. And these past couple games, he has been putting a charge into a lot of baseballs. Some great defense made on a couple of those plays, but tonight he's able to break through with that single.
Third hit for Cotuit against Justin Mitrovic as the first pitch fastball taken well outside. Is really nice stop from Macon Winslow has to lunge into the opposite batter's box against the lefty Blue to keep that ball in front. So Cerny stays put off first. Cerny tied for the team lead in stolen bases with 3 as he dances off the bag. The 1-0 pitch taken at the letters but outside against Blue. Max Blue today 1 for 3. Bounced into a 3 unassisted, hit his first home run of the summer. It was a 2-run shot. Also reached on an error committed by the second baseman, Cade Curlin, just an inning ago. As Blue hits this one deep to right field. Looking up is Cam Maldonado, but all he can do is watch it fly. Touch 'em all, Max Blue, his second home run this summer, his second home run today as a towering drive nearly hits off the scoreboard at White House Field, but it's a 2-run bomb from Max Blue, as now it's at 11-5 contest.
I think he smashed that scoreboard in right center field. Max Ballou with a no-doubter, light tower power to deep right center field for Ballou. And what a day at the plate, especially last night. 3 innings pitched, saving this bullpen and keeping them fresh to get a win today. And it looks like they could be well on their way to doing that. And part of it, a big part of it, is played by Max Ballou.
Max Ballou today, 2 for 3, 4 RBIs. As slow roller ground ball hit by Grant Jay to the second baseman Curlin, who fields barehand. Throw is in time to nab Jay for the first out of the inning. But Max Ballou, 2 for 4, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, and really doing it all for the Kettleers so far against Harwich.
Got the pitch he liked and just turned on it. Deep right center, 398. It was 97 off the bat. Those numbers brought to you by TrackMan. And it's amazing to see what Max Ballou was able to do yesterday, and it's crazy to see what a day or a difference in one day could make.
We were talking about it, waiting for Max Ballou's power to be on display. Had yet to hit a home run through 10 games so far for Cotuit, but has blasted 2 today as the 1-0 pitch to Luke Hansen, looked at for a called strike 1. So the count is even at 1-1. To Hansen, who's the 9-man in this Kettleer lineup. He's 1 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch, has scored twice. Also swiped a bag as the 1-1 pitch taken around the knees but outside. So 2-1 is the count against Hansen, who started the day at first, then moved over to third. When Timo Becerra came in for Nolan Araki. As the 2-1 pitch fouled over our heads, and Luke Hansen lost his bat. That went flying. Hansen's bat nearly went back to the backstop. So he let that thing go.
That was a big hack. Trying to do exactly what the man 2 spots in front of him did a few seconds ago. Blast a homer.
The 2-2 pitch taken low and outside to Hansen. So the count is full here against Justin Mitrovic, who has really struggled so far today against Cotuit in an inning and a third. Has allowed 4 hits, 6 runs as Hansen just flares this one down the first base line, but Anderson will just touch that foul. As Mitrovic, an inning and a third, allowed 4 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned, has walked 2 and struck out 1, while throwing 43 pitches, 26 for strikes. He works out of the windup here. His payoff pitch to Hansen, chopped foul once more. Really good battle working here. Hansen, Mitrovic, 7 pitches.
Oh, a great battle, and Luke Hansen working the count up there once more, and a guy who is maybe we haven't seen him work the count too much so far this season, so it's great to see him put in another good AB, and especially after already scoring 2 runs in this inning.
The payoff pitch got him swinging. So an 8-pitch at-bat for Luke Hansen, but it ends with him going down on strikes as Mitrovic records his 2nd strikeout of the day, and there's 2 outs in the inning as we head back to the top of Cotuit's order with Devin Taylor.
Well, Mitrovic was pretty solid through his first 4 appearances this season, was the closing man for a pair of wins for Harwich, but now today has allowed 6 runs in the last 2 frames.
The first pitch to the lefty Devin Taylor, taken well outside for ball 1. Taylor got off to a great start today, was 2 for 2, but grounded out and popped up in his last 2 at-bats, so he's 2 for 4. To lead off home run to begin the ball game on the first pitch is the 94-mile-an-hour fastball looked at for a called strike 1 to even the count up at 1-1. The Team USA guys flashing the power for the Kettleers, 3 home runs over the last 2 games, 2 by Taylor, or 4 home runs, 2 by Taylor, 2 by Ballou. 3 today, as the count is 1-2 against Taylor. 1-1 pitch taken for a called strike 2 just around his knees, as Mitrovic 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. The righty out of the windup deals, taken at the feet of Taylor to even the count up at 2-2. Taylor 6 for 19 since returning from Team USA. Mike Roberts talking about it before. Devin Taylor, Max Ballou coming back, just waiting for a boost and really igniting this lineup, and that they have done so far. As the 2-2 pitch, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball taken high and outside. So Taylor works the count full here with 2 outs in the inning. Cotuit leading 11-5. As Mitrovic deals the 3-2 pitch, a rocket right to the second baseman, Kurland. His throw, low in the dirt, as Taylor beats it out. Great speed by Devin Taylor as he reaches for the 3rd time today. And Kurland just letting that ball eat him up. Made a low throw that couldn't be dug out by Michael Anderson.
Well, it's another play at second base that Kurland was rushed on. He knocked it down, but had to quickly locate the ball and throw it to first base. But once more, the speed from Devin Taylor killing this infield for Harwich, and he has reached for the 3rd time today. We'll see what that goes down as, and it is going to be a single, so he improves to 3 for 5.
Excellent day for Taylor at the dish. Now it's Timo Becerra who swings at the first pitch right to the shortstop, Weingartner, who lets that ball eat him up, goes into left field. Advancing to third is Devin Taylor, so another miscue by the Mariner defense. As Becerra reaches for the 2nd time today, and now the Kettleers have runners on the corners with Brandon Compton digging it.
Yeah, that one definitely an error off the bat of Timo Becerra, straight through the 5-hole of Ryan Weingartner. It looked like he was maybe caught between trying to backhand it and forehand scoop it. He did decide to go to the backhand, but it just went right underneath his glove, and he didn't watch it all the way through. So the Kettleers extend this inning with 2 gone, and Brandon Compton, who has put together back-to-back strong at-bats, is at the plate.
Back-to-back walks for Compton. That's now the 4th error of the day for Harwich, as the first pitch to the lefty Compton taken beneath the knees for ball 1. Compton's 0 for 2. Did score a run and has walked twice. Another productive day at the dish for the Kettleers left fielder, as the 1-0 pitch taken high and outside in the opposite batter's box. So 2-0 is the count on Compton. Going to add to his 13 RBIs so far this summer. Becerra leads off first, Taylor off third. The 2-0 pitch, big cut on and missed by Compton there. As Mitrovic just 1 out away from getting out of this inning, where the Kettleers have put up another 2 runs. So 6 runs against the Harwich reliever, as the 2-1 pitch fouled straight back into the fence behind home plate, just to our left. That evens the count up at 2-2. So from 2-0 to 2-2 we go, with 2 runners on, 2 outs in the inning. We'll get time on the play. Ball still on the field. That's picked up by the Harwich bat boy, just in front of their dugout on the third base line. Rained a little bit earlier here at White House Field, but it's been a good night for baseball as Mitrovic elevates the fastball and Compton waves through it for strike number 3, but not before Cotuit pours on another 2 runs after the 2-run bomb by Max Ballou, as they now take a commanding 11-5 lead heading into the bottom of the 8th. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
With 30 plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Mikey Ebner back out for his second inning of work here at White House Field. Comes in now with an 11-5 lead after the two-run bomb by Max Ballou, his second home run of the day. As a first pitch curveball looked at for strike number one against Matt Scannell. Scannell also had a productive day so far. He's 1 for 3 with a double, reached on an error in his last at bat, has scored 2 runs. But Ebner, the righty, working against the lefty Scannell. High fastball taken right at the head, but out of Scannell. Count even at 1-1. Ebner allowed his first hit and first run last inning so far this summer, but comes back in a breaking ball that's looked at for strike 2 against Scannell. So 1-2 is the count here. Ebner, 20 pitches, 12 strikes. That's something that he's worked on a lot this summer, trying to get ahead of hitters, and does so here as Scannell, a hard grounder right to the second baseman at Vincula. Fields cleanly his throw in time to nab Matt Scannell for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th.
And that's exactly what Ebner has been doing so far this season, pitching well and pitching to weak contact. And after allowing that leadoff single to Cam Maldonado, 4 up, 4 down with 1 strikeout, 3 ground outs. And so pitching to anywhere but the barrels of the bats is what Mikey Ebner has done so far this season.
Now it's the 5-hitter in this Harwich order, Michael Anderson, who looks at a first pitch strike just around the knees from Ebner as he gets ahead once again. Anderson, 0 for 3 today, did reach once on an error committed by Nolan Naraki, but quickly he falls behind the count against Ebner as a breaking ball looked at for strike 2. Ebner's working quickly as the glove set just above his belt. Kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch, breaking ball. Anderson thought about giving it a swing, but wisely lays off as that pitch bounced in front of home plate. So the count is 1-2. Anderson came into today hitting .282, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs. It's a towering pop-up just over our heads.
Come on, Chris. Oh.
Chris Jones tried getting underneath it, let that ball hit off the pavement.
He had a beat on it. E10.
It's another time where we've almost saw a Kettler intern catch a fly ball as the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball once again. Anderson lays off, so the count even at 2-2. Adele almost had one earlier. Chris Jones had one here. Soon enough, it's going to happen. The 2-2 from the righty, Ebner. Anderson lays off high and outside. So from 0-2 to 3-2 with 1 out here in the inning. Anderson was 4 for 5 with a home run and 5 RBIs back on opening day on June 16th against Cotuit as he hits this one hard on the ground to the third baseman Hansen. Fields cleanly his throw in time to nab Michael Anderson. So back-to-back groundouts worked by Michael Ebner. as there's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
And he wins the battle of the Bicycles right there. Anderson goes down, and not so much weak contact that time. That was a hard hit 3-hopper into the glove of Luke Hansen, who made the switch from first base to third base. And right here before the 4th plate appearance of the day for Jake Ogden, he's going to have a timeout, talk things over with Steve Englert. Talking strategy with 2 outs, nobody on in this inning. And for the Kettleers, there was a clear plan for going into this ball game. Get a lead early and give Michael Ebner the game with the lead, and that's exactly what they've done. They've actually expanded on that lead, scoring 6 runs in the past 2 frames, but 11-5 is a big cushion for Ebner to work with, and he's about to hopefully escape his 2nd inning of work with just 1 hit, 1 run allowed.
Aiden Hunter got the start for Cotuit today. He went 3 2/3, allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, and handed the baton off to Christian Becerra, who went 2 1/3. Didn't allow a hit, just allowed 2 runs. Both are unearned. Now he handed the ball to Michael Ebner, who's facing Jake Ogden, who returns to the batter's box. Foul tip straight into the glove of Grant J on the 91-mile-an-hour heater. So Ogden down to the count 0-1. He's 1 for 3 today. Singled in his first at-bat. That coming back in the 2nd inning. A strikeout and a pop-up as Ebner pours again another strike. It's 0-2. 30 pitches for Ebner. 19 strikes. Looking for just 1 more here to work 2 innings at White House Field. The 0-2 pitch taken high and outside, so Ogden stays alive. Ogden getting the start at third base today is hitting .247 so far for Harwich this season. High fastball waved on and missed by Ebner as Ogden goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today as Ebner records his 2nd strikeout as he's now through 2, and Cotuit still leads 11-5 after 8 innings. We head to the top of the 9th with the Kettleers up by 6 runs. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Michael Benzor is the 4th arm used today by the Harwich Mariners as they still trail 11-5. As Justin Mitrovic goes 2 innings, allows 5 hits, 6 runs, just 2 earned runs. Struck out 3 and walked 2 while throwing 57 pitches. And Joe, this is something that we've talked a lot about so far tonight, but the fielding miscues by Harwich leading to Cotuit runs.
Yeah, it has been, and the Kettleers have ran the bases well, and they've done a good job of getting runners on base and bringing them around to score whenever they've had opportunities to do so. I mean, they've been able to put runners on base in every single inning in this ball game except for the 5th inning. And they haven't left as many guys on base as they did as in last night's game, Alex, which they still scored 4 runs, gave up 14, but it's great to see this offense be consistent 1 through 9, and that's obviously something we've been talking about a lot in the month of July, and they're all following through today 1 through 9, and including on the pitching staff on the mound, Aiden Hunter going 3 innings, then Christian Becerra, and now, of course, the red-hot Michael Ebner.
Cotuit left 8 guys on base last night in the 14-4 loss against Hyannis, but today here against Harwich, only left 4 guys on. 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position, but now it's Nathan Hall, who's 2 for 2 today. Swings at the first pitch, hard chopper right down the line at third base. Ogden, who goes into the slide. His throw pulls the first baseman, Michael Anderson, off the bag, so Nathan Hall reaches for another time today and another really successful at-bat for the Kettleers right fielder as he's on to lead off the ninth.
Yeah, 3 for 3 on the day, a sacrifice bunt, a walk. He scored 2 runs as well and stolen a base. Nathan Hall has done it all today. And that one nearly rocketing down the left field line. It probably would have been, and all the way back into the corner if Ogden didn't make a diving stab at it to knock it down.
So it is a base hit for Nathan Hall. He's now 3 for 3. Lefty-lefty matchup between Benzor and Advincula. The first pitch to him, a 94-mile-an-hour heater. That's taken low for ball 1. Benzor in the process lost his hat. So he picks it up, now steps off the rubber. Advincula today, a rare 0 for 4 performance. His average down to 375. It's been over 400 for most of the season here. It's a pitch clock violation, so now the count is 2-0. The 2-0 pitch runs too far inside to the lefty Advincula, so he's up in the count 3-0.
Advincula's batting average dropping now down to 375 with this 0 for 4 day.
Hall a short lead off first. The 3-0 pitch looked at for a called strike 1. Advincula thought it was ball 4. Kind of shook his head on the call, but still up in the count 3-1 here. Benzor making his 6th appearance as a 6.75 ERA. As the 3-1 pitch spiked in the dirt, kept in front by Winslow, but it's a 5-pitch walk for Advincula as he reaches for the first time today, and now that brings up Tyler Cerny.
Well, at the end of the day, he's still able to reach first base. Jaron Advincula falls back to 0 for 3 now with 0 for 4 now with a walk, and that strikeout back in the 7th inning, just his 4th on the season.
Walks have been a big issue for Benzor this year. 9 walks so far in 6 2/3. As the first pitch to Cerny, low in the dirt, Benzor once again loses his hat. Cerny today, 1 for 4. Singled in his last at-bat. That broke an 0 for 15 stretch. Benzor, the lefty, kicks and deals to Cerny, the righty. That one in the dirt. Both runners will take off here. So Hall motors up to third. Advincula follows him to second. As that ball just got away from Winslow. Kind of popped up right in the air, landed in front of him. But the Kettleers aggressive on the base pass. Now they have 2 runners in scoring position, still with no outs.
Well, Winslow's had to work really hard back there and hasn't allowed a pass ball yet on the season, actually. So it's really just been this pitching staff for Harwich that can't find the box.
4 wild pitches today. This one low in the dirt, kept in front, or hit by Cerny. Goes right to the third baseman, Ogden. His throw in time to nab Cerny. The relay throw in time to nab Advincula. So 1 run coming to score. That's Nathan Hall. But Cotuit just trying to be aggressive on the base paths there as they get doubled off as there's 2 outs in the inning. But the Kettleers lead 12-5.
Yeah, just your average 5-3-5 double play there with an RBI for Tyler Cerny. So another quality at-bat for him, has been able to make a difference in any way that he can. And bringing home his 3rd RBIs of this ball game to make it 12-5.
Now that brings up the dangerous Max Blues. Rocketed a pair of home runs today. The first pitch from the lefty, Benzor, taken high.
Cerny with just 2 RBIs going into this contest, now 5 total on the year.
Blue 2 for 4 today. 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch taken well outside to the lefty. So 2-0 is the count. Ten pitches, 3 strikes for Benzor so far, but has gotten 2 outs, those coming just a couple of pitches ago on the 5-3-5 double play from Tyler Cerny, but he falls behind here against Ballou as his 2-0 pitch backs Ballou up. So 3-0 is the count. Blues tearing the cover off the ball, coming back from Team USA takes a healthy cut out of the 3-0 pitch, but waves on and misses, so the count moves to 3-1. Picked up an RBI or 2 RBI single against Bourne, 2 RBIs against Brewster, and has 4 today. So 6 RBIs for Max Ballou, but he works a 5-pitch walk here against Benzor and keeps the inning alive.
Just a phenomenal day at the plate for Max Ballou, who reaches base once again. They've been pitching around him, really, and after putting a charge into that one just an inning ago, of course, why not put him on first base with 2 outs?
So now that brings up the catcher, Grant J., who's 0 for 3. Reached once via a walk, swings away at the first pitch, lofting a fly ball over the press box, just behind our left shoulder. So Ballou leads off first. Jay, who's been struggling as of late, looking to get on. Snap an 0 for 12 streak, but this one's blasted. Deep left field, giving it a look is Daniel Dickinson, but all he can do is watch that ball soar out of the park as the power stroke for Cotuit once again coming alive as Grant J hits a nuke here in the top of the ninth as the Kettleers lead 14-5 on Grant J's 3rd home run of the summer. He's now up to 9 RBIs. And boy, Joe, that must feel good for Grant J.
Much needed for Grant J, who's been struggling at the dish. His first home run since back in June when he went yard in a couple of different games. It wasn't back-to-back games. It was a game against Hyannis, a game against YD, June 18th, June 21st. That one a no-doubter off the bat of Grant J. And boy, that must feel good for him, as you just mentioned. Hopefully a slump-busting bomb for him. But now the Kettleers will follow that up with another base runner as Luke Hansen takes that one off of his back foot.
So Luke Hansen reaches, but Grant J before that home run 0 for his last 12 with 9 strikeouts. But just absolutely tattoos that home run, 108 miles an hour off the bat. That traveled 423 feet. Those numbers, of course, powered by TrackMan. As now it's Devin Taylor. The first pitch to him, the lefty backed him up. So the count is 1-0 here. As Cotuit has scored runs in the last 3 innings, as Taylor taking all the way. Count evened up at 1-1.
He's not gonna. It looks like he's not gonna take a swing at any of these pitches. Immediately backing off as the pitcher goes into his windup.
Taylor 3 for 5 now does swing. High twisting foul ball down the left field line. So the count is 1-2 against Devin Taylor, who's having a really impressive day at the dish. 3 for 5 with a home run. That coming all the way back in the first inning as Hansen leads off first. The 1-2 pitch from Benzor spiked in the dirt, kept in front by Winslow. Staying put at first is Hansen. But the Kettleers put up 4 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 3 so far in the 9th. As they lead 14-5. Hansen a short lead off first. Benzor comes home. The 2-2, once again, low in the dirt, kept in front by Winslow. He's continued to really play solid defense back behind home.
Yeah, he has. I mean, that's definitely a positive to take away from this. What appears to be the 14th loss of the season for the Mariners. Winslow has been solid behind the dish all night.
As the 3-2 pitch gets away from Winslow, moving up to second is Hansen, but it is another walk for Devin Taylor. He reaches for the 4th time today. Out of 6 at-bats, and Taylor just doing it all at the top of this Cotuit order, and that's something that we've talked about. The Kettleers struggling getting production from their leadoff man, but Taylor answering that and doing it in a big way so far today.
And every single Kettleers player reaching base at least one time. The only one who hasn't, Nolan Araki, who was pinch hit for in the 4th inning for the man at the plate right now.
The first pitch to Timo Becerra backs him up. So the righty Becerra looks at a first pitch ball from the lefty Benzor, who has struggled to find the strike zone here. 23 pitches, just 8 strikes. As there's runners on first and second, the Kettleers lead 14-5. The 1-0 pitch once again low and inside. Laid off for ball 2 by Becerra. Becerra's 0 for 2. Popped up in the first at-bat. That being in the 5th, reached on a walk in the 7th, and reached on a error by Ryan Weingartner in the 8th, and now will have a mound visit as Michael Benzor continues to fall behind here.
Yeah, Benzer really struggling to find the box, missing with the first 2 pitches here to Becerra. Started off Devin Taylor with a 1-1 count and then had him at 1-2, but then went on to walk him and has continued to fire away from the strike zone. Timo Becerra already today reaching on an error, reaching on a walk, seeing the ball well, just still looking for that first base knock after going 2 for 5 at the plate a night ago.
So the conference on the mound is over. Benzor, the lefty, comes set, glove set right at his belt. Kicks and deals the 2-0. Taken well low and outside. So Becerra up in the count 3-0 here. And another offensive game between Cotuit and Harwich. Now 56 runs so far through these 3 games that are played. As it's a 4-pitch walk for Timo Becerra. So the bases are now loaded for Brandon Compton.
The last time they had him juiced, the Kettleers were able to bring one home on a balk, and then Compton walked to first base for the second time today. Now leads this Kettleers team with 14 walks on the season. And now a mound visit from Steve Englert. He will take Benzor out of the ballgame.
So Michael Benzor's day is done. He goes just 2/3 of an inning, allows 2 hits, 3 runs, but all 3 runners on the base pass are his responsibility. Walked 4, did not strike out a batter. Allowed a home run to Grant Jay and also hit Luke Hansen. So not the outing that Michael Benzor wanted to have, but we'll step aside for a quick commercial break as Harwich's new arm warms up.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
So Michael Benzor's day is done. He goes just 2/3 of an inning, walked 4 batters, and now Harwich bringing on their third baseman, Jake Ogden, to come in and pitch as Sam McNulty replaces him at third base. Ogden gets ahead of Compton there, pours in an 89-mile-an-hour fastball that Compton fouls back, so he's quickly down to the count, 0-2. Ogden throwing some heat from the right side. Glove set at his belt, comes home, deals Compton a high-towering pop-up right to McNulty on the third base line. Battling in the lights, he will fall down. It's McNulty right near the fence. Was feeling it with his right hand there and just loses his balance as the ball falls. Right on the dirt down the third base line, so Compton stays alive. Bases loaded. Ogden kicks and deals. Chopper, that gets through into center field. Hansen comes around to score. Taylor gets the wave around. He will come in to score. So it's a 2 RBI single for Brandon Compton as Cotuit takes a 16-5 lead here in the top of the ninth. Then Brandon Compton's day just continues to get better. He reaches for the 3rd time today and picks up his first hit and 2 RBIs.
Yeah, great piece of hitting. Just a chopper straight back up the middle that squeezes through past Cade Kurland at second and straight away into center field. The Kettleers pouring on 2 more runs. It's now a 5-run top of the 9th inning and 11 runs from the 7th inning on tonight.
So Cotuit batting around as Nathan Hall started off this inning. Looks at a first pitch from Ogden. That's outside for ball 1. Hall, a perfect 3 for 3 today. Does have an RBI, also reached on a walk and has scored 3 times. As Hall hits a towering pop-up. Down the third baseline, giving it a look, is McNulty. But he will let that ball fall well out of play. So the count is even up at 1-1.
Yeah, Hall leading off this inning with a single. Of course, came around to score on the RBI double play by Tyler Cerny. But since then, every single Kettleers batter has been able to reach.
Hall hits this one into center field. Coming in is Matt Scannell, who makes the play for the third and final out of the inning. But Cotuit continues to pour it on here in the 9th inning. Already leading 11-5, they put up 5 more runs and take a commanding 16-5 advantage heading into the bottom of the 9th. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Looking to connect with the right business? Zoom Info's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, Zoom Info's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today.
Vince Vittori.
An offensive onslaught continues for Cotuit as they've scored 16 runs and take an 11-run lead here in the bottom of the 9th as Michael Ebner returns for his 3rd inning of work facing a pinch hitter, Vince Vittori. Vittori swings to the first pitch, lofting a high foul ball well over our left shoulders. Vittori pinch hitting for Macon Winslow, who was 1 for 3. Singled back in the 4th inning, but also struck out and popped up. As Ebner, his 0-1 pitch, ground ball hit slowly down the first base line, touching it foul is Tyler Cerny. So Ebner, once again, getting ahead of hitters here as Vittori falls behind 0-2.
Just about as good of a cushion as he has had throughout this entire season, 11 runs.
Vittori hitting .238 through 8 games here. Another foul ball. This one hit right at the Harwich dugout on the 3rd base line. Ground ball rolls into the dugout. But Vittori out of Elon, 1 home run this year, 3 RBIs. This is his 22nd at-bat. Ebner comes set, deals the 0-2 pitch, spoiled once more. Pop up straight over our heads. Back into the trees. Started his collegiate career at Duke, he redshirted and then transferred to Elon. As the 0-2 pitch caught on and missed strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Michael Ebner as he makes quick work of Vince Vittori, and there's 1 gone here in the 9th.
7 straight retired for Michael Ebner after allowing the first hit of his Cotuit career against the first batter he faced, Cam Maldonado. This is the last man he hasn't faced in this lineup, Luke Heyman.
Ebner, 37 pitches, 3 strikeouts so far. So just masterful work once again as his first pitch taken low in the dirt. That's something that Michael Ebner has talked a lot about, trying to get ahead of hitters, as caught on and missed. Count evened up at 1-1.
It's been a pretty tough start to the summer for Luke Heyman. Of course, a great hitter last year for Falmouth, but he has really, or did really struggle out of the gates, but in recent games has kind of started to put it together, has been averaging right around a single per every ball game in the month of July.
The 1-2 pitch. Spoiled. That one hit foul.
But combined, going back-to-back last night, or excuse me, did not homer last night, but against a Chatham team, he went 1 for 4.
As Ebner's 1-2 pitch taken outside.
But the Kettleers playing Chatham tomorrow at home. They'll be hosting them at 5 p.m. Of course, Adele was talking about the pregame ceremonies with the 1995 championship winning team. Should be great.
Chatham picked up a 9-6 victory today against Brewster as the 2-2 pitch. That one goes high, so the count is full here. YD falling against Orleans, that one 9-4 in 8 innings. Bourne defeating Hyannis 6-0 as the payoff pitch taken outside for ball 4.
Fourth walk of the season for Michael Ebner. And he will have to deal with just a second base runner in this ball game, so that puts to rest a 7-up, 7-down stretch, and he'll have to face Cam Maldonado, who is the only player in this entire league to have tagged Michael Ebner for a hit.
The only other game that we haven't talked about, Wareham defeating Falmouth 9-2. Wareham improves to 15-7. Falmouth drops to 18-5. As Ebner's first pitch, that gets off the glove of Grant J. Moving up to second is Heyman.
Looks like the home plate umpire got hit with that pitch. He's down on a knee, taking a breather. Hope Jeff Merzell is okay. But what a massive win for Wareham. A get-right victory at that. They dropped 2 in a row. That was their worst losing streak of the season, which is crazy to say, but a 9-2 commanding win over Falmouth. But also important to note, Hyannis getting shut out tonight 6-0 against Bourne. Bourne playing some good baseball, but Hyannis falling back to 13-9-1, so the Kettleers are 2 outs away from snagging that second place spot in the West Division right after Hyannis took it from them a night ago.
Could do it if they hold on, and would be a miraculous comeback for Harwich. Would improve to 14-9. Harwich would drop to 9-14. With Wareham's victory and YD's loss, now tied for the best record at 15-7 so far this summer.
Yeah, what a great win for Orleans, a struggling team. Couldn't really find their footing offensively at all. They were putting up 3 to 5 runs per ball game. We saw them play at Lowell Park a couple of games ago, and they were able to squeeze away with a 4-3 win, playing a lot of small ball and winning a tight game, and that's something that these Harwich Mariners have been unable to do this season.
Orleans just 7-16, but definitely have had some big victories so far this summer. As the 1-0 pitch to Maldonado looked at the letters for ball 2. So 2-0 is the count here. Maldonado having a really impressive day so far tonight. 2 for 3 with 2 runs. Of course, the home run that he hit in the third made it a 3-1 ball game. Feels like ages ago and many, many runs ago as Cotuit leads 16-5 here in the bottom of the ninth. Count is 3-0 against the Harwich right fielder. Taking all the way, lays off, so it's a 4-pitch walk and back-to-back walks issued by Michael Ebner.
Now Mike Roberts will walk out to the mound. Runners are on first and second. He'll bring the entire infield in to chat with Ebner. Of course, an 11-run cushion, as we've been mentioning. You said it would be a miraculous comeback for Harwich. It definitely would be, and it's tough to tell from our vantage point if there are any arms warming up in the Kettleers bullpen. But you have to assume that this is Michael Ebner's game. He's trying to complete his 3rd inning of work. Mike Roberts with just a couple of words to him up there on the mound, and some more words of encouragement from the rest of his infield, who are likely saying just allow them to hit it, put the ball in play, and it looks like there is an arm warming up in the Kettleers bullpen.
Says the most pitches Ebner has thrown so far this summer at 48. topping his previous season high of 47. That coming back in his first outing against Orleans all the way back on June 16th in Game 2 of the summer. But Ebner here in a bit of trouble with runners on first and second. Back to the top of the Harwich order. Ryan Weingardner, the shortstop, looks at a first pitch ball. As Ebner falls behind again. So 2 consecutive balls to Weingardner. 8 total straight balls for Michael Ebner. Struggling to find his control here as Weingardner hits this one deep to left field. Going back is Compton. He will look up, but that ball is out of here. Ryan Weingardner tallies his first hit of the day. He improves to 1 for 5, but blasts a 3-run shot. As now Harwich trails just 16-8 on the 4th home run of the summer for Ryan Weingardner.
Another no-doubter in this ball game. Balls are flying out here at White House Field tonight, and for Michael Ebner, it's just been a frustrating outing for him where he can't quite find the mark, falls behind in the count 2-0 once again, as you mentioned, so he's got to figure out a way after 8 straight balls to put a ball in the zone, and Ryan Weingardner down 11 runs, you better be swinging away, and he swung out of his shoes on that one to make it a 16-8 ball game.
Weingardner home run number 4 and RBIs 10, 11, and 12 so far for him, and was 0 for 4 before, but now improves to 1 for 5, and now a first pitch strike to the second baseman, Cade Kurland. His 0-1 waved on and missed, so quickly 2 strikes from Ebner. That's a good way to bounce back after allowing a 3-run bomb. The first home run allowed by Ebner so far this summer. Just the second hit. As the 0-2 pitch chopped foul off the fence above the Harwich dugout. Just a high chopper off the bat of Cade Kurland, who has also had success at the top of this Mariner order. He's 2 for 3, was hit by a pitch, does have an RBI, and did score. There's another pop-up. What a snag by a fan. Bare hand there on the pop-up off the bat of Cade Kurland. What a grab.
Left arm in the sling, too.
Even more impressive.
Insane.
The 2-2 from Ebner. Swung on and missed on a pitch in the dirt. So Michael Ebner bounces back after surrendering the 3-run home run with a strikeout of Cade Kurland.
Pretty good day at the plate for Cade Kurland going up to that point. 1 for 3, and the one out that he made, he brought home a run on. So for him to get that swinging strikeout here in the 9th inning, that must be huge for Michael Ebner, just to get right after giving up the 3-run home run. Of course, going into this outing, no earned runs in 11 innings.
Daniel Dickinson rockets this one down the left field line. But that one just goes foul. Inches down that left field line. That was destined for extra bases there. But just a long fly ball for Daniel Dickinson, who, just like Ryan Weingardner before his 3-run home run, having a tough day at the plate as Dickinson's 0 for 4.
Yeah, put the ball in play every single time he's been up there, but just hasn't been able to squeeze it through. And that time, just a couple of inches down the left field line, and he would have had himself at least a double. But luckily for Michael Ebner and the Kettleers, they are still 2 strikes away from ending this ball game.
Ebner's 0-1, high looping breaking ball, taken for ball 1 that evens the count up at 1-1. Dickinson's batting average down to 186. As Ebner kicks and deals, the 1-1 that evades the glove of Grant J goes straight back to the backstop. So 2-1 is the count on the Harwich left fielder. And Joe, we've talked about it all broadcast long, the success of Daniel Dickinson. What do you think it's going to take for him to really pick up his bats this summer?
Well, I think it's much similarly to Grant J. Sometimes it just takes that one massive home run, the big blast, and that's pretty much all he needs. We know he's a guy who can blast the ball out of the ballpark, but still looking for his first in the Cape League.
And the 2-2 breaking ball runs too far inside, and that plunks the left elbow of Daniel Dickinson, so he gets hit by a pitch and extends this game.
Ebner still trying to find a way to end this ball game, and now you mentioned the pitch count for him. He's up above 60 pitches. Who knows if Mike Roberts wants to keep him out there, but I and willing to bet that if Scannell is able to get a hit or get on base after working the count, his day could be done.
61 pitches for Michael Ebner, pours in another first pitch strike against Matt Scannell. Scannell today 1 for 4, has scored twice, also has doubled. As leading off first is Dickinson, not being held on. The 0-1 pitch bounces in the dirt, kept in front by Jay, who pops up, but retreating back to the first base bag is Daniel Dickinson. So the lefty Scannell hitting .224. Announces transfer destination to Wake Forest, and another pitch from Ebner that runs inside to the lefty, backing him up out of the batter's box. So 2-1 is the count, and a rare performance where we haven't seen pinpoint location from Michael Ebner.
He has done a great job locating that fastball down and up in the zone, but not so much tonight.
The 2-1 pitch fouled straight back over the press box. Now Harwich is down to its final strike. Cotuit leads 16-8. Dickinson leads off first. The 2-2 pitch from Ebner, spoiled again. Another long fly ball over the press box. So Scannell staying alive, 5 pitches he's faced so far. The pitch count of Ebner up to 66 pitches, 39 strikes through 2 2/3. The 2-2 pitch from Ebner. Scannell hits this one into the right center field gap. Charging on is Max Ballou, who reaches up and grabs it for the third and final out of the ballgame, as Cotuit picks up win number 14 this summer with a 16-8 victory over the Harwich Mariners.
Well, it's an offensive explosion that the Kettleers needed after getting run ruled last night 14-4 at Hyannis. They continue the road trip today on to Harwich, trying to go 2-1 on the road throughout this 3-game road stretch. And they do so perfectly. A 16-8 victory. They earn that 5-1 lead after 4 innings in this ball game. Harwich showed some comeback in them, scoring a couple runs and bringing it to 5-4 after 5 innings of play. But then it was those 11 runs scored by the Kettleers across the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And it's really been more of what we've seen from the Kettleers in the games that they've won throughout this month of July, where they are able to get the bats alive and keep them alive throughout the end of the ball game to really get the offense going 7, 8, and 9, and to have the offense performing from 1 through 9. They produced all throughout the lineup today, and that's exactly what the Kettleers needed after falling short last night in Hyannis. So hopefully able to keep the good play going into tomorrow in what should be a fun one against Chatham.
And you talked about that early 5-1 lead for Cotuit, and Joe, all it took was one pitch against the starter for Harwich, Hayden Lefevue. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 run, that coming off the bat of Devin Taylor.
Yeah, it was. To take an early lead like that in the first pitch of the ball game is huge, and just put Harwich on their heels immediately. Of course, this is a team that has lost 7 games in a row, so to get a hot start for them would be super important. But for them to fall behind early, especially the way that they did by 4 or 5 runs, they don't want to have to play from behind again. That's what they've been doing throughout this entire 7-game losing streak, now 8 games for Harwich. But for them to have to play from behind again, Cotuit had the momentum from the first pitch and all the way throughout the last one, except for that bottom of the 5th inning where Harwich was able to get a couple runs in on a balk, an error made by the Cotuit defense, but that's where the errors stopped for the Kettleers, and they held the Harwich bats relatively silent throughout the rest of that game. Some garbage time runs and some issues for Michael Ebner in closing out that ball game, but we know the level that he can pitch at, and we know the level that this bullpen can pitch at. And of course, another great positive to take into tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. Not too many arms used by this Kettleers bullpen. Aiden Hunter gets the start, goes 3 2/3. Christian Becerra 2 1/3, and then Michael Ebner to close it out. So only 3 arms used. Have an entire bullpen full of arms at your disposal throughout the rest of the weekend until Tuesday's off day.
And Joe, something that we've talked a lot about, and Mike Roberts talked a lot about when the Team USA guys were away from the team, is the Cotuit offense grinding out at bats, getting better at bats, and becoming better hitters. And of course, they'll get that boost when the Team USA players come back. And boy, did Devin Taylor, we already talked about his leadoff home run, but Max Ballou, he blasted 2 home runs. And those 2 guys tonight, key cogs in this Kettleer order, went a combined 4 for 9, 3 home runs and 5 RBIs.
And just absolutely incredible to see the way Max Ballou hit the bat tonight, was at the plate tonight after pitching 3 innings last night for the Kettleers, taking up so much time for this bullpen, him and Luke Hansen, to save so many arms for today's game. The Kettleers likely planning on using Michael Ebner in last night's game, but of course falling behind early in that game, so they are unable to use him, so they save him for tonight, give him the lead, but of course it would have taken a massive comeback by the Harwich Mariners to get back into this ball game. They're able to make it 16-8, but to see the production from the heart of this lineup, the top of the lineup once more, and there was a little bit of a rough patch for those guys transitioning back from Team USA, getting back into the groove of things with the Kettleers, but now that time has clearly passed. Devin Taylor, Max Ballou, both with phenomenal days at the plate. Nathan Hall, also with a great day at the plate, reaching in 4 plate appearances and knocking 3 hits. So for him to have a great day at the plate, and a guy who maybe hasn't been an everyday guy for Mike Roberts, clearly showing that he deserves to have a spot in this lineup day in and day out.
Cotuit with 16 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors committed, and on the flip side for Harwich, 8 runs on 8 hits, 5 errors, so defense really plaguing the Mariners here. But Joe, I'm really glad you brought up Nathan Hall, a guy who, like you mentioned, hasn't played a lot, but when he's gotten his opportunities, he's been ultra productive today. Another 3-for-4 performance. And now, Adele Huffman will be joined post-game with head coach Mike Roberts.
Thanks, Joe and Alex. What a wonderful broadcast from the two of you. My name's Adele Huffman. I'm joined alongside head coach Mike Roberts for the 10th inning. Coach Roberts, what are your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, I do want to compliment our broadcast team because when I was gone the one game at Bourne, I thought they did a great job. I was listening that night. So I'm just glad we bounced back after last night's game. Last night was kind of a tough loss, and I thought Hunter got us off to a wonderful start on the mound, and as the first pitch of the game went out of the ballpark off Taylor's bat, and we saw some long balls tonight that we haven't seen. Really thrilled. All of a sudden, Max got into a couple. It's a wild Cape League game. I'd like to see more 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 type games that we play in, but we're thankful and very happy that the guys played well and came out with a victory.
Coach, how is it that Max Ballou pitched 3 innings last night, saving some arms, and then comes in tonight with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs?
I actually think the knuckleball helped his swing somehow. I'm trying to correlate that. How do you throw the knuckleball and all of a sudden next night your hands are better? It's a crazy game, and I loved watching Max pitch last night. I called a knuckleballer in high school. I called a knuckleballer in college that was drafted, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think he had a great time, and I think the team had a great time. But most importantly tonight, he swung the bat really well. So we're happy for him that all of a sudden a couple of balls really jumped off his bat.
He definitely did, and it was great to see that. And, Coach, how important is smart base running in a game like tonight's?
Oh, yeah. Smart base running is good all the time. I won't say that everything we did tonight was
excellent stuff. Finally getting to hear them on the road broadcast, but like head coach Mike Roberts talked about, just a great day over.
At the plate, it seems like there really wasn't anybody who had a bad day hitting today, and so that is just so huge. You don't want to have to go into tomorrow and have one of those offensive hangovers, so definitely want to keep the offense going into tomorrow, a Saturday, and hopefully a lot of fans at the ballpark tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of festivities pregame, so it's definitely going to be one that you don't want to miss.
And Joe, one final question here. Cotuit, 3 straight games on the road. They go 2-1 in that stretch, but like we've talked about, the 1995 reunion tomorrow, coming back home for the first time since Tuesday. How do the Kettleers harness all the momentum that they have taken from tonight's game and take it to tomorrow?
Well, you're going to have to get another good start offensively. Mike Roberts talked about in the home game on Tuesday after their loss against Brewster, saying to be a good team, you have to win on the road, but to be a good team, you also have to win at home too. And so for the Kettleers to get a win tomorrow night at home, which is the ballpark that they really haven't been playing as good in. They've been much more of a better team on the road, as we saw tonight with 16 runs. But tomorrow, to get a big start and to get it early and often, just as we saw tonight and just as we've seen in pretty much all of their wins throughout July, because you can't rely on that late inning offense, because the way that some of these teams are going to be able to handle late innings, you don't know how many guys are being used by the bullpen throughout the week. So to continue to see a lot of pitches, work counts, get runners on base, continue to make the pitches coaching staff's work. That's exactly what the Kettleers did tonight, and they just need to keep doing that tomorrow. Don't need to change anything and seek win 15 at Lowell Park tomorrow night.
But that'll do it from White House Field. For my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt. For our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman. For a production crew of Cam Christie and Jimmy Shantulis, I'm Alex Rocco. Thank you so much for spending part of your Friday evening with us. Cotuit victorious with a 16-8 victory over Harwich as they improve to 14-9 on the summer. We'll talk to you tomorrow when the Kettleers square off against Chatham. Have a good night.